all the way with me. Don't leave me now.
Church Chicago's Power Hour. I'm your host, Angie Mims, and
Terrence Keys, TD,
a.k.a. Terrence Daniels.
Do you believe that God's going to turn it around?
I got to.
Definitely.
Why?
Why? Because he's did it before.
Come on.
And he'll do it again.
Yes.
That you can do it again.
Yes. Come on here.
Come on, I better leave that alone.
Somebody calling you right
Somebody
now.
calling you right now, Lord. If it ain't one thing, I better go. God's going to turn it around.
And I feel like we have to encourage the people because so many people are just truly depressed. They're going through the holiday blues, and we want you to know that you don't have to be discouraged. But you can in fact be encouraged because God's going to turn it around.
Turn it around.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me.
WIIFTVPN.
Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. Please. Please don't leave me now. Please don't leave me now. Please. From glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. God's gonna turn it around. 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 From glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. God's gonna turn it around. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. God's gonna turn it around. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. God's gonna turn it around. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. God's gonna turn it around. Dear Lord, it's me again. God's gonna turn it around. I'm calling on you. You did it before. I believe that you can do it again. Somebody calling you right now, Lord. If it ain't one thing we need, somebody else needs you for another. Please, son, look and have mercy. Have mercy over our home, Lord. Have mercy. Have mercy. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around.
Cassandra J. Matz, current Village of Olympia Fields trustee and your candidate for Village President of Olympia Fields. I've been a resident of Olympia Fields for 28 years. I believe in building strategic partnerships, establishing governance boundaries, and have and will continue to dedicate my life's work as a respected and credible voice when it comes to decision making. Olympia Fields has always been a community of familiarity and comfort, and I want to make sure the village stays that way. On Tuesday, April 6th, vote Cassandra J. Matz for your Olympia Fields Village President. Paid for by Citizens for Cassandra J. Matz.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing
every Tuesday and Thursday from 1
to 3 p.m. on
What's in It for the Black People Media.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said. Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Mayor Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this the way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger.
Good morning. Good morning.
Todd, you rapping for Seton Hall today, man. What's going on, man? You be rocking the Seton Hall. What's going on? Was that another one of the niece's hoodies that you cuffed?
It's Taylor Claire's birthday today.
Say one more time.
Taylor Claire's birthday.
What's Taylor Claire?
That's my niece. She's my goddaughter.
Oh, okay, your goddaughter and your niece, and so you are representing Seton Hall for her. She's a Philly girl.
We never got to Seton Hall, so she already graduated and out working.
Wait, so she went to Seton Hall,
right?
You're rocking this hoodie in her honor, but you never went to go see her?
No.
Oh, you know what?
We were broke at that point.
Todd, when you were broke? What do you mean broke? What's broke?
Broke is when
Todd, you were never broke, because broke mean you ain't got no job. Nobody in the house got a job. That's broke. So you were your version of broke.
We had all the essentials, but there was none of that. We're going anywhere.
Ah, okay. So no 2 vacations a year, no we about
2 vacations.
Yeah.
Maybe a half a vacation.
Man, you know what? Your vacation was we finna go for a ride.
Yeah, that's
Remember
right.
when we used to go for a ride?
Dairy Queen.
McDonald's Playland.
All right, y'all. That is my co-host Todd Stroger, but in the background, you heard that voice. It's been a minute since she's been here. Actually, the last time she was here, we was where Sonia was, and Sonia was where we were. It's been a while, y'all. Back in the building, back on the set. It is Cousin Juan. She's with us for the rest of the week. Cousin Juan, how you feeling this morning?
I am excited, and then you saying every morning 6 a.m.
Yeah, I love it.
I have to strategically plan my nights now.
Yeah, I love it.
I've been out in the streets.
I'm gonna tell you the best is to text Juan like at, let's say, 9 o'clock and be like, you want to do the morning show tomorrow? If you crazy, you got to tell me it. Because Juan be like, I'm kicking it. Let me tell you what. Juan, I'm going to tell you what. I'm somewhat of a, so I think I have a really positive spirit until I get on the radio. And then I start, no, I do. I really feel like and then just everything hits me. And I'm like, you see this and you see this. And I read like if I didn't read the paper and didn't watch the news, I think I'd be a truly happy person.
You would be like me.
Right. But I'd be like, I'm reading the paper. And then I come in here and I'd be like, let me tell you what. Why I'd be like, you know what? It's rainbows and lollipops. And I be looking at her Facebook page like, dang, she be having so much fun. Cousin Juan, what's going on? Where you been at? What you doing?
I'm doing everything.
We see. What's going on? Talk to us. Tell us a little bit about what's cracking.
I'm loving life. I have, COVID shut down my industry. Mm-hmm. So I tell everybody COVID stopped my paycheck, would increase my passion. So I was really huge in advocacy for the events and entertainment space. So I actually became like a lobbyist. Right?
I was just getting ready to say, no, I would actually.
You would be like proud of me.
First of all, I'm always proud of you. So let's start there. But I will say that pressure makes diamonds, right? Pressure makes diamonds. And the entertainment industry did seem to take one of the biggest hits of this whole thing. And you don't realize how important or how many people, it's like we kind of take entertainment and be like, yeah. It's like the forgotten kind of like your mama say, you can't never be a rapper, boy. Go get your job.
Right.
There's always a job at the post office.
Not anymore. Shoot, clearly not. Apparently not doing delivery at least.
Right.
But it's funny because I watch how this time that we are in right now, force people to adapt. And I was watching you, and I think probably when I really, really, really got it was when I was watching you on Tennille and Minding Our Own Black Business. And I was listening to you, and I was like, damn, Juan is sounding pretty lobbyish. I was saying, she was like, this application, this too much.
It was.
Right? She was like,
5 pages.
and to see, okay. So, I feel a certain way about like the picture takers. Right, in the political space. I do. I feel a certain way about the picture takers in the political space.
Cousin Juan, this is the second thing. Yesterday, he had a feeling about the kissers.
That's because they be trying to kiss on my wife. That's all right. I see y'all. I see y'all coming from across the room.
She is fine.
I know she is. That's what I used to be one of them across the room, and she'd be like, "Dog, don't even think about it."
You over there
She's-
knowing what
I
they're
was
thinking.
I was like, I was zooming in. She'd be like, "Don't even do it." Anyway, and so. One of the things, like Juan, I always be like, Juan, you got to be mad about this. She'd be like, I'm not mad about nothing. I'm going to make it happen. And to watch you evolve through this space and to be places and to be like, Miss Juan Teague told us that and I'd be like, oh, that's my girl. I know her. What's she doing? What's your name doing in these meetings? What are your I'm the political. No, I'm just playing. So I was, I'm going to say I've been pleasantly surprised to see all of your advocacy work and to actually see it come to fruition, right? And lobbying without necessarily a client but your damn self.
Exactly.
Right.
Which I found out that was legal.
Right.
That was the first thing I did. I'm like, wait, what I'm doing? They're like,
No,
it's like
but
a lobbyist, but you can do that on your own
But
behalf.
you can advocate for yourself, and
Yes.
it was just great to see you. And so when we emerge from this, I expect to see Juan climbing the ladder. I do not expect to. I know, and Juan is all peaceful, but let me just say this real quick. I do not expect to see 3 million white girls running around Chicago with every contract to do every festival when the person that advocated for everybody, black, white, Asian, Latino, I used to be like, if you don't take these white boys off this page, talk about my friend. But it just is a testimony to your passion for your industry. So I'm just putting y'all on notice. Like, we expect to see Juan doing the big events and big festivals and all of that stuff and the big planning, and when the RFPs go out, I expect Lollapalooza action and everything, and else not, we gonna be all up in y'all.
I appreciate that.
No, I'm serious, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Shoot.
It was a lot of hard work. Like, people don't realize that DJs and everything, they looked at us as the fun market, but didn't know that there was a livelihood behind it.
It's funny though, because the white boy DJs is cleaning up.
Oh, yeah.
They was out there like, yeah, I need my PPP. I make $18,000 a month. I was like, you ain't bad boy, Bill. Stop it.
Right.
All right, y'all. This is the Mace Jackson Show. Sonia Escobar, how you feeling?
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, now it seems like we are all locked and loaded. Ruthie, we ain't forgot about you. Even though you're in the wild jungles of somewhere saving the children. You know what? I'm going to tell y'all what. It's going to be a great week. I'm looking forward to it. So let's do this. Let's get the soul plane up and away. Let's get it to 60,000 feet. And let's jump right into the headlines. Traffic jam. I'm glad we're flying because there was a traffic jam. Chicago's number 3 on the traffic jam list. Number 3. But number 1 is the Eisenhower. Now, the Eisenhower is 55, right?
No, 290.
290. Okay, I always get the Eisenhower and the
Stevenson.
He's
and the
from
Stevenson.
Bolingbrook.
That's all right. I call them numbers.
Is Eisenhower.
290. I-55.
You don't. That's what you call them. You don't go Eisenhower.
I'm taking 290.
Are you
I say,
serious?
look. It's like you told when we used to come from Bolingbrook, we knew Indiana meant you was going to the south side. Wisconsin meant you was going north.
Right.
And then when you got by UIC and it got all tangled up, you knew you was headed somewhere going to the west side. And remember, I don't like growing up, 88 and 2 and 355 didn't connect. So we never came that way. We always came down 55. And in Bolingbrook, it's I-55. In Chicago, it's the Eisenhower. Oh, no, it's the Stevens.
It's the Stevens.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So, number 3 on the list, I could tell you that, though, because it's that something. They done rebuilt all of these expressways like 4 times. They've been under construction all the time, and they never can get the hillside strangler right. And whoever decided that you get off in the middle of the expressway at Austin and Harlem needs their mouth slapped off.
And whoever just did that new one where it now curves to go over into the Dan Ryan, that's even worse. Like traffic.
Oh my God!
Like who designed that? Like that is a nightmare now.
Well, let me tell you, they designed that and then they redesigned it when Bruce Brown was on his way out. The road builders re-upped that contract and said, we're going to pass this bill so that this contract is extending till the next governor. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you, that joint has never, ever been fixed. It's always been under construction. And I think I almost had 3 crashes trying to figure out which one I was supposed to go to. Right. And that's dangerous.
That's dangerous.
How about this one? Okay, we are going to talk about this. I did not. So yesterday I told y'all, first of all, I didn't care about the Royals, but I watched the interview. Y'all, we got to talk about that. Like, real talk, Prince Harry was like, dang, I did not mean to give up my white privilege. Yeah, I just felt like that watching that joint was like watching Mike Tyson and Robin Givens all over again. Yeah. She was answering the question. She's toasting England. She ain't never coming back to England ever again. But we're going to talk about it because you saw white privilege and the removal of white privilege. It was so much in that interview to unpack. We got to talk about it. I really wasn't going. Yesterday I said, you go into the bastion of white supremacy, right? It's like, but boy, listening to her talk and looking at Harry, it was like, dang. When Oprah was like, if it wasn't for Meghan, would you still be with your family? He was like, yes.
Yeah, right.
Right? It's like, hey, man, it was nice being white, supreme white. And what I saw in that whole thing was that the maintenance of white supremacy is more important than everything, even family. Mm-hmm. And they kept talking about the institution. And I was just thinking, like, the institution of white supremacy.
Right.
It was it was just so telling. And this fool is picking chickens. Yeah, no. I'm telling you now, there's nowhere in the world you could go from being the prince of the world, everybody's favorite playboy, right? The bad boy. And then, I'm just telling you, I'm going to tell y'all all the stuff.
It was kind of like trading places.
Yeah, oh my God, it was so much in that interview to unpack. Yeah. And Meghan was like, yo, I'm not with it. And dude was like, wait, this is what we do.
But did you see that the Brits, they actually did interviews before even watching it? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw. Well, I'm going to tell you what was so crazy was watching them do the articles of them doing the same, of Kate and her doing the exact same thing. And the way they'd be like, the difference. I mean, literally, one would be eating avocado toast and the other one would be eating avocado. And it was like they showed the articles. It was white supremacy in full effect on display. And even when you tried to Vanessa Williams it, you got to come on home. And y'all know Vanessa Williams. Remember Vanessa Williams thought she was white. Right up until them pictures came out. And they was all celebrating. And then they was like, hold on. Joe, get back on your side of the line. And Meghan, freckles and all, back on the black side of the line.
But that did make her popular because she's the only, like, U.S., like,
I mean, I think she was. I ain't gonna trip. I think she was strategic in the mother.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna get all the way into it, but she wanted that time. Don't act like you.
What other Miss America do you know?
Oh, you talking about Vanessa Williams?
Yeah, who you talking about?
Now I'm talking back to Meghan Markle.
Oh.
Meghan Markle was over there like, don't front. She tried to play. It meant nothing to me. Bro, excuse me. I can't say that word. But lady, you know damn well you wanted to be a princess.
Oh,
stop.
Every woman wants to be a princess.
See? But you ever seen a book with a
tomboy? I'm a tomboy.
You ain't never seen no book with no black princess in it. Name one.
What was the one in
Tiana? Yeah. They don't even put her. They don't even count her. You don't even see that. I don't even think they got the Princess and the Frog on the Disney Plus. They don't even got no Disney Plus.
I think Meghan wanted it, but then once she saw it and saw the realist of it, I think that's when
I just wanted protection.
Yeah.
I just wanted. Shout out to the black people for protecting the white people. Shout out to Tyler Perry for saving her from white. We gonna talk about it all because I'm telling you, all the black people was jumping in to save them because they was like, look, we got a chance to save the whitest of the white. I'm gonna say I would have just. I'm gonna stop. We're gonna talk about it later. 18,500 middle school students returned to CPS yesterday. What I will say is that I am grateful. Shout out to Willie Preston. Shout out to Natasha Dunn. Shout out to Dr. Janice Jackson. Even shout out to the mayor. What I have not heard is any outlandish outbreaks that have come with the return to school. And we haven't heard CTU. You know, if anything bad would happen, CTU would have been like, and look. And it wasn't happening. So I'm looking forward to, it's good to know that children are able to get back. Remember, parents, if you have high school age students, you have 2 weeks. Yesterday starts the clock to determine whether you will opt back in for this school year.
Yeah, and I think with me, I don't watch the news. I listen to facts, and because of what I've been doing, I've been on calls. And to me, to hear and to see what the mayor and the president, what is she? The president, Janice?
CEO. Doctor,
yeah,
get it right.
To see, like they literally took the precautions, like the airlines and hotels and everything like that. Like they literally took. Shut up, Maze. They did.
I seen some pictures, and I be like, y'all pictures don't be looking like the social. Y'all pictures do not. I just need to say this, and then I'm gonna leave it alone because I'm. Look, y'all better let me go ahead and get this woman this compliment while I can.
Give it to her, Madam
Mayor, and no, let me back up. Shout out to Doctor CEO Janice Jackson. Shout out to what's my girl Latasha McDade. Latanya McDade. Kind of shout out to the mayor. Kind of. It's like, kind of. I still, y'all, but whoever takes y'all social media pictures, I'm just telling you, the mayor got to stay about them kids' face. I know y'all got to take the picture. I know y'all got masks, but they be like real close, and I'll be like, they got masks on. That is not the precaution. The precaution.
Yeah, with a mask. Well, you know,
you ain't supposed. Don't be in my baby face taking no pictures.
She got the shot.
Who?
The mayor.
She be coughing all the time.
You know what?
You know she do. Every look. This is the mayor at every press conference.
CDC said we could be close.
Man. Hey man, I'm just telling you. Don't be taking no pictures with my children. I need a release for that. Okay. Did y'all see the weed mobs forming? We're gonna talk about this.
Weed mobs.
What is that?
Did you see Verano got caught smuggling weed? They're actually in the middle of a RICO case where they were, Verano, which is the $3 billion company.
Ooh, they should be taken down.
Well, here's the deal. See, that's where we should start. They got caught smuggling weed in Whole Foods containers to don't this sound like a movie? To Arkansas to start before Arkansas had weed laws to allow weed to grow because they were starting their plants. And they wanted to get a jump on it, so they were smuggling weed. And man, I'm just telling y'all, we tripping because, and I'm gonna come back to this story because it's like they are literally physically allowing a criminal enterprise to begin to be created. They're smuggling weed now in Whole Food containers. Like it seems.
You're saying containers? Are you talking about the trucks?
No, I'm talking about they put the weed seedlings in a salad container and got on the plane. And then you take the clones and you drop them in the joints, and then you start replicating the plants. Oh. And once they were starting the farm before, but just think about the fact that that's something you would expect to see on Queen of the South or the Cartel or something like those.
It starts April 7th.
I'm not. Queen of the South lost me. All the movies start getting corny after they tell the first 10 murder gruesome stories. Then it'd be like, look, man, we already know it's like 8 to 18. Right,
you're watching so many angry things.
Yeah, I don't even watch.
You need to watch Family Matters.
Ain't nobody watching no damn Family Matters.
I
watch Family Matters every once in a while.
I watch it.
I'm gonna tell you what I've been watching on the sneak though.
What?
A Different World.
Oh yeah.
It's a different world.
Living Single.
Then where you coming from?
All that stuff. Come on, you need to watch some happy stuff.
Hey man. Sunday, Monday, happy days. No, I'm going to tell y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Look, we got Cousin Juan in the building. I got a few more headlines. Then we're going to go to the social media question of the day, and I can't wait for this one. Did y'all see that Target is looking at buying or occupying the space once held by Macy's in the Water Tower place?
Oh, that would be cool.
That's big.
That would be tacky. All right. So let me just say this.
At least 300
hold
on. In there
social media question of the day will be: is Target tacky on Michigan Avenue? I'm just say this.
Everything boarded up anyways.
Which goes to another point, but I'm gonna say, if I go to buy There's no way that I am going to be Ferragamo, all of the super high luxury brands, and across the street staring at me as this red Target. I just want to know, is it tacky to put it on Michigan Avenue? We'll talk about it all when we come back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
What's up, good people? If you didn't tune in to the last I Said What I Said, here's what you missed. This legendary journalist, man, his list of accomplishments goes on and on. He's an author, a brother. He is someone that, for me, I've looked up to literally since I was about 11 or 12 years old. And this was really before I knew his name. I mean, I knew what Slam Magazine was. That's kind of what you did as a shorty. But I didn't even know that he wrote for it, right? And I had read plenty of his articles, but I didn't know that the dude who I saw every morning on my way to school was Scoop Jackson. Eastside crazy, man. So, in growing up over there where I grew up, there wasn't a whole lot of positive male representation. I would walk down the block past his house every morning. I would see him coming out of his driveway, right? He had this coldest truck, black Pathfinder, if I recall. I would see him, and he would always just take a couple minutes to chop it up, and it would just be me or, a couple of my guys just walking to school. And again, over there wasn't a whole lot of representation of positive black males. I don't know that you were aware of the difference that you were making on us at the time.
I don't want to say I don't believe in the concept of giving back. I feel if you give back, that means that you left. So my whole purpose in never leaving the same neighborhood I came up in is that I never gave back. You just give. I would hope that I would have impact on what your everyday lives were. I could be the one dude in the neighborhood that stopped and spoke to you, which I think is really important.
Yeah.
Because young individuals in black neighborhoods, especially young men, get ignored very quickly.
All the time.
They get dismissed. Right. They get minimized. And the one thing, I still do it to this day. Say what's up to everybody, especially young brothers, because we have a tendency not to acknowledge one another. And I've never lived that life. My hope was that, us having the small time and me just being there and you all, just developing a relationship with me and me developing a relationship with you would have at least a small impact on you. It would give you like, all right, there's some decent people around me. There's something I can look forward to maybe. If I don't have anybody else in this neighborhood that I could talk to that could identify with me,
right,
I can ring Scoop's doorbell. You got a good memory. It was a black Pathfinder too. You good.
Coldest truck I had seen. I was like, yo, that's raw. Cuz ballin'. I said what I said. Urban 2, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing
every Tuesday and Thursday from 1
to 3 p.m. on
What's in It for the Black People Media.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Cousin Juan is sitting in with us. We're going to talk about the weed mobs forming. Check this out. J.B. Pritzker signed the Education Equity Bill yesterday. You know I get nervous when I hear the words equity. Mm-hmm. Equity means getting white people re-rich. They told us equity for cannabis.
Well, Maze, let me tell you. So since I've been lobbying, them bills be long as heck. That's a lot of reading. Some of them be like 500 pages and 60 pages.
It's part of the job.
I know. That's a lot of pages.
It's part of the job.
I'm just saying, that's a lot of...
I mean, that's exactly why they make them that way, because people be like, I'm through at page 10.
Yeah.
And then they say, can you give me a bill summary? And then the next thing you look up and you got social equity. and no black people participating. So there go your 600-page bill that it'd be too long to read.
Right.
They do that on purpose.
The key is finding where the good stuff is.
Exactly.
Most of it is just crap.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
So, again, education equity bill, I think about the money that's going to be expended. Who are the black people going to eat? Also, speaking of that, I saw J.B. Pritzker launch the $10 million outreach campaign for black and Latinos. Who got the money? Who got the campaign?
I think we need some white people to reach out to black people.
That's how they get paid. And then they go hire some black people and say, let me subcontract you at 1/10 of what I'm getting paid per hour. And because the white folks be like, there's no way in the world we giving Negroes $10 million. Dear white people, can you manage the black people for us? And there's plenty of white people. And quite frankly,
like every other
the way you eat in Chicago as a black person is you subcontract.
Right.
You're not the direct. You got to find somebody who likes you. And then once you find someone who likes you and they say that you're competent, then they go get contracts and they say, let me plug you. And then they market you as their black person. And like, who black can turn that down? Because damn, you trying to eat. You trying to do a business.
Right.
And so essentially, all the big contracts to do most of the black stuff goes to white people.
So I guess my question is, because, I don't follow this stuff, how is it that the majority or a lot of the politicians in Chicago are black, but shouldn't they have a voice telling the governor, like, who are the black people that should be getting the contracts? Or am I weird for thinking that way?
I think that they do.
But who are the black people? Because
I think that they do, and it ain't you. And
but
so,
who they hire? Like, what do they do?
So I think that's a in-depth question that can go on forever, and we don't have time. But
I'm
sorry. No.
I don't mean
we're gonna. No. We can address that tomorrow. But I think this is what
most of them are competitively bid. But the specs are for
white people. So basically, they create RFPs. See, the problem is the black legislators get caught up in the part where, what about the law? Like, one of the things I love the most about what Sonia Harper said was, I'm tired of being threatened with the lawsuit. Right. White people say they're going to sue if you try to do something for black people. Well, Joe, sue, and we got the most black elected officials. So if you sue them now, we feel like if we do something to white folks, they going to make us pay later. That's what should happen with the black folks. And so where I normally would be kicking them in the butt, what I'm saying is now they're moving towards a space like that.
Oh, that's
and
good.
So we got to keep on pushing them and prodding them in that space and being confident in it. Just when I hear equity and a white person say it, it means that they're figuring out a way to get all of their friends rich.
And everybody that's listening know that they can go and pull in and look. It's a public record typically.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tell y'all, we should pull the public record on who got JB's $10 million public outreach campaign.
Yeah, it's a public record, people. I learned that.
Look at that. All right.
You're so smart.
Derek Chauvin, jury selection. In case you don't know, he's the guy, the officer who kneeled on the did I say officer? The swipe that the swipe that kneeled on.
Is that Yiddish?
No, it's swipe minus the A. Swipe.
Minus the A.
SS.
Is that a maze word?
Yeah, right.
Do you know what a wipe is?
Oh, okay.
A swipe.
Oh.
So he's a swipe. All right. Okay. All right. So from second degree murder to third degree murder charges, they've paused to check it out. Trump tells her.
You know what that means?
What?
No, I was asking.
Oh, yeah, it means that they're trying to lessen. They stopped the jury selection because they're trying to debate between whether they'll be charged as a second degree or third degree murder. And the judge says he doesn't have the jurisdiction to make that while it's on appeals. So they've stopped it.
So we're guessing second degree means that was some kind of intent?
Yeah.
And third degree means there was absence of malice?
Something.
You are such a nerd. You know that by heart.
I wanted to use absence of malice since the weekend. I don't know why.
I'm sitting there like.
I use it pretty regularly. Yeah, I do. Absence with no. Well, I use it when I'm getting ready to stab somebody, and I'd be like, "There's no malice, or no malice aforethought."
Yeah, malice of forethought.
No malice of forethought as it related to that. I didn't think about how much I hate you. Trump tells the Republican National RNC that they cannot use his name or likeness to raise money.
Wait, what?
Because he's using it.
He's using it.
Right, but they've been saying like, people are like, we're with Trump and Trump and support the Trump values and all of that stuff because he is a money making machine. I'm gonna tell you, he's gonna be a problem in 2024 for somebody. He is. I think that I don't know if the Republicans they're doing too. They're not like dousing the flame. They're like fanning it a little bit, and it's like they're trying to get a little fire. Mm-hmm. But the problem is you can't make a little fire. Like if you ain't built a firewall, the little fire once it gets on its own, it's gone.
Oh, it does what it wants.
And you be man. I told you about the time I had my car and it started with the fire about the size of a match, and I couldn't get to it. And so I was I was on the side of the expressway. I had a small, like a little spark started in my car. And the sucker, and I could not get to it. It's like my hand couldn't, like enough where you could have literally just pinched it off.
Yeah,
if you could have got to it. And I couldn't get my hand down there. And that sucker turned into my whole car being consumed in a fire on the side of the expressway and blowing up while I'm standing there.
Oh, wow.
And it started with the size of a match where if I could have just licked my fingers and pinched it. And that's when I was like, I understood the power.
If you would have licked it and pinched it and it went out, you could have kept driving it.
I certainly would have. I would have been like, I would have drove to a gas station, sprayed the engine with some water and been like, we got to get there.
You know what? Yeah. No, I would have left it there.
I did.
Back when I was young, California was a big place for fire extinguishers. It was a thing. You put 2 fire extinguishers in your car.
Oh, I can see that.
I can see that.
Especially in California.
Hot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last one. Shout out to everybody. I want to send a shout out to Helen. So I don't know, do I say Helen? Okay, shout out to Helen Tyner. Shout out to Inglewood Political Task Force. Shout out to Keith Harris. Shout out to Nicole Vaughn. Shout out to everybody that is over in Inglewood trying to get the sex offender, the white sex offender who was dropped off, murdered a 20-year-old sex offended
20 month
baby, and then was a sex offender and murdered her. Got out of jail and then was released and the white folks said, "No, we don't want him," and so he got to Inglewood.
Yeah,
man, how did he live in jail? But anyway,
in a special ward probably. But my thing is, they're in Inglewood. Let me just tell you, okay, and I'm not advocating for this at all, but like the white guy should have no quarter. To quote, from Is Wiz, he should have no quarter in the black community. He should not. I think that everything that they're doing.
Sorry.
And my thing is this, and I don't know if it's that so much because he's probably not. He's just gonna live wherever he can live.
Right.
But I do think that the owner of the building, who is doing this and has no regard, like. That should be an issue. And I think that they should, I'm not going to say what I think they should do, but I'm going to just tell you. Remember when I was just talking about my car? Mm-hmm. All right. We'll be talking about that. My car.
Hey.
Take the safe black folks out and be like, all right. That's what they, if it was us, can you imagine black sex offender? First of all, he probably would be castrated.
You be close the door. Ain't nobody going to see this.
Right. Like everybody go. I swear to God, we have the goonest of the goons until it's time to protect our own things.
Yeah.
The goonest of the goons. I'm telling you, mugs will tell you about what they will do to you and your family, and then a white boy move in and black people be like, I'll be quiet. I'll be talking again.
I'll be talking when they look.
But do you think they know, they know now probably.
The brothers need to. This is the connection that needs to be existent in our community. We do not control our warrior class. That is a warrior class issue. That's it. Like, it shouldn't have to be no women out there. It shouldn't have to be no big old protest. It should be you 48 hours, cuz.
Right.
48 hours.
Yeah.
What do you want?
And that ain't the police.
They ain't gonna do it. Cuz 48 hours.
Right.
48.
Yeah.
I don't care where you go with it. Get you a tent.
Yeah.
But 48 hours. I'll donate the tent. We got people all up under the bridge, everywhere else, and this fool got this. Of all the people that can find a place to live, this fool can. And in Inglewood.
In Inglewood. That's the crazy thing.
It's right, though.
Well, that proves the narrative that Inglewood is not as dangerous as everybody put because now it's
now you punking mud.
I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying.
Maybe they need
the
to call us.
narrative is just the worst thing in the world.
Let me just say this, and I
now
got
you got
much
somebody
love.
white there, sex offender sitting there, and nothing happened to him. So I'm just saying.
I got a feeling. I ain't gonna say no names, but I got a feeling the brothers are gonna take care of that.
They should.
I think that our children should be safe.
Y'all
I think
get a
if I was the
pass.
mayor or somebody else, I would figure out a plan, and I would be like, for his own safety and our own safety, we just want to get you a nice, comfortable cell, something. All right, y'all. I'm gonna move on though.
He would
But
be
I
going-
wanna-
he
I
would
wanna-
be going back to the jail, closing it, and saying, "Leave me here."
Right. Let me just say. Right.
That's what should be happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, he should meet some other sex offenders.
Exactly.
Close
the door.
Hey man, did y'all see? Y'all ever watch The Black Godfather?
I love the
Godfather of Harlem. I mean, Godfather of Harlem.
It's amazing.
Remember every time somebody, boy be like, Big Black, whatever his name is. What you gonna do with that? The Maze Jackson Show. All right, let me go to social media question of the day. Hey y'all. Now, I think one of the things that I've been following in Crane's magazine over time, and if you drive through downtown, it still remains a ghost town. It remains a ghost town. You go to Michigan Avenue, buildings are still boarded up. Stores are still trying to recover. There are not people walking around. Actually, I went to the store to get something altered the other day, and I noticed roving crews of thuggish looking white people downtown in luxury brands, but still roving.
Thuggish white. Does that even go together?
Yes. They were yes, they look like criminals to me. Yeah. Arrest them, officer. Okay. Shoot, I would be like, oh my God, they look like criminals. I'd be like, I would be describing them as, their hair wasn't combed. I mean, they had on these goose jackets, and I mean, they must have stole them.
Goose jackets.
Right. Duck quacking, all that. Okay, so anyway. And one of the things that this is, first of all, I'm going to tell you that never in a million years would I have ever thought that Michigan Avenue would have been trashed. I don't care whose revolution happened where. Michigan Avenue, because I would have never thought that Michigan Avenue would have been destroyed. I'm going to tell you the closest I thought that would have happened was after Laquan McDonald and Black Friday. And part of the reason that we organized the Black Friday protest was because we were we were concerned that the young people might attempt to destroy Michigan Avenue, and with a mayor like Rahm Emanuel, he'll be like, shoot.
Well, I think differently. I didn't have that concern when that happened because at the end of the day, black people are still scared of bothering white stuff. And I think what happened with Michigan Avenue, that wasn't started by blacks. That was started by others, and blacks just then came and participated. So I think
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think that, but that just goes to white folks saying that's white privilege.
Yeah.
White privilege. Like, black people know you can't tell them nothing because a black person got killed. White people can tell whatever they want when they want.
Right.
But what happened with that was, realistically, I think it shattered our sense of, I think the destruction of Michigan Avenue shattered a certain level of security that all Chicagoans had, whether it's white stuff, black stuff, whatever. When you turned on the TV and you saw that they was busting up Michigan Avenue, you was like, whoa.
It's real.
This is beyond real. And some people said that it could be the death knell of Chicago as an international city. I think the first time it went up, people kind of said, okay, we're going to come back, we're going to do our thing. The second time and the third times that they went up, people started making decisions. You started to see major retailers starting to pull out and saying, I'm not going to invest all of this money, because realistically, Michigan Avenue is not necessarily profitable anyway. because the rents are so high, but because of the location, it's brand building, etc.
It's more so looked at with big brands as a marketing versus being profitable.
Profitable sales.
Yeah. Because like that Macy's and Water Tower, I mean, honestly, before COVID, that should have been gone because nobody was ever in there.
Well,
the buyers were horrible.
Okay, so I think we also saw, Brian Hopkins imposing curfews, black kids. We don't want to say it was for black kids, but it was for black kids being in Water Tower Place with the curfew without being their parents. So there was been this challenge as to whether Michigan Avenue would recover. Then I remember reading in Cranes where they were saying we've got to, Thad Wong with App Properties was saying that we've got to reimagine Michigan Avenue as a tourist location, perhaps having family entertainment in Michigan Avenue, perhaps slowing down the traffic or limiting the traffic, making it a walking area, something similar to even Times Square.
That's State Street.
That's exactly what I thought of. State Street when Mayor Byrne closed it down and tried to make it a walking mall type area, which essentially was a flop.
But I think also to a certain extent, it needs to be reimagined because a lot of sales are now going e-commerce. So you have to figure out something outside of just retail and shopping because a lot of people are trying to find more destinations, things to do. And quite honestly, downtown, on Michigan Avenue, you have Water Tower and you have a movie theater. You don't really have a lot of destinations to go to.
See, I would say that Michigan Avenue in and of itself was a destination.
I agree.
I think that Michigan Avenue in and of itself was a destination. One, whether it's the Christmas lights, the decorations, it's almost like being on Madison Avenue in New York, right? Where
the whole Magnificent Mile.
Yes, that in and of itself and being there and buying and I think like not for Chicagoans because I think of it more of a tourist destination. So no, we ain't going to Michigan Avenue. But when people came to Chicago, if they stayed,
but my family might because we ain't going nowhere else.
Okay, but when people came to Chicago, Michigan Avenue. I mean, think about from the Bean to Chicago Avenue, whether you saw all the luxury brands, like walking down Michigan Avenue, like you could be like, there's the Louis Vuitton store, there's the Ferragamo.
I think it's a pride thing of being there from Chicago. It's a destination, but to me, I mean, you should see how many of my friends want to go see where Cabrini Green was. That was a destination.
I got you. I got you. But I think there's different reasons that people come, right? Like, so if you're going to take somebody's going to take the gangster tour. Right? Like if you come to Chicago, there's things that you go to see. Right? Navy Pier. Like to me, Navy Pier, we don't need another Navy Pier on Michigan Avenue.
Right. And I don't think I'm saying it where it becomes like that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying reimagining it where you still have the signature pieces of it being somewhere to see. I think some of the things, instead of it being all retail, there can be some more things that's going on because a lot of things are being bought in e-commerce, and that's one of the reasons why, even though people are saying it's because of the civil unrest, a lot of it is their way out because it wasn't profitable. So that's just their way to get out. But I think coming up with some ideas on still keeping that tourist, making it as still a tourist attraction, but maybe in some of the stuff just reimagining what that is besides retail, and still keep the popular retail, like the high-end retail, still there.
So that goes to what really was the social media question of the day: is Target on Michigan Avenue tacky?
It's time for the social media question of the day,
which is now almost time for us to wrap up. But
not you asked that question.
Is Target
when he
tacky?
said wrapped up, I'm like, it's 9:00 already.
Yeah.
No, but it's
but
tacky.
where do people get their groceries anyway? I always wondered about that.
What do you mean?
Well, they rich, so they just have them.
They go to Whole Foods.
Oh, you can get it delivered.
No,
they got Trader Joe's.
They got First of all, let's be clear. We don't never got to cry for white millionaires.
Yeah,
that's true.
We don't. Y'all there is not Treasure Island. I mean, you think about all of let's be clear. There is not a shortage of, they done built vertical Marianos, right? You go all over into, white folks gonna take care of themselves.
That's good.
They're gonna take care of themselves. The food deserts, you ain't never heard nobody in downtown complaining about groceries.
No.
You haven't. No. Right? Because they got all of the access to all of the privilege, etc. Right. But I think when you say, I'm not gonna go to Michigan Avenue to see Target. It's no longer a destination. And I'm going to say that once you start the slope, you start a slippery slope, right? Because who's Target's competitor? So now we're going to have the super Walmart, the high-end Walmart on Michigan Avenue, right? Do you then start, do they have, again, does Costco get there? Or now, if you start to make it an attraction place where you have like lifestyle venues, think about it. They told them that they could not bring Dave & Buster's into the water tower.
Oh, really?
Because they said who it attracts.
Kids.
But what kids? Because you know we love us some Dave & Buster's.
But don't you think it can be a great opportunity? Like, okay, I get you with the Target, but I think when you're saying, the thing about that people don't understand is that, especially younger buyers, they're into brands that are basically in the neighborhoods. So, like, for instance, the Joe Fresh Goods, the Leaders, like, I'm just naming some of the black brands. Like, what about giving them some of that, like a store on there, because it's deserted, because what it's going to do, and their buyers are black, white, Latino, they're everything across the world.
So, I would look at, again, you're now going to where what Maria Pappas said, which is you're going to devalue the property value. So no shade on, first of all, I love all of those brothers and I love all of those stores. They do not have, I would suggest that if the major brands and retailers, it's not profitable for them to be on Michigan Avenue, then it's definitely probably not going to be profitable for a small business who's operating on different margins. Now, we keep saying give. If I work with developers, right? What they are trying to get is a number per square foot. Mm-hmm. They don't, and so Target gives them the number per square foot, which is why they're talking about it. Now I'm talking about branding. Right. Because you have mixed signals when you put Target on Michigan Avenue. I think it would be great to have a Leaders on Michigan Avenue. But the Leaders store on Michigan Avenue is going to have a much higher retail value that is going to probably price them out of the people who would ordinarily travel to shop there, because they already high. I mean, let's be clear. Like, most of the stuff that we buy that's in our custom boutiques is not necessarily cheap. Right. They're already charging a premium. But now imagine we're putting Michigan Avenue retail price on it. Or if it does come down, then you've lost the value of the property of the tax that Michigan Avenue generates. I just think that we got to think about, there's the retailer. If I'm the developer, I'm taking Target, I'm taking whoever. And as Brian Hopkins said, he really, nowadays, with the way the mayor has done the laws, they can't stop it no way.
No.
And so the fact of the matter is, take it away from being Target. What happens when Marshall says, give us it? I like Marshalls, don't get me twisted. But I'm going to say that Michigan Avenue Marshalls, it may be attractive, but it ain't going to be attracting the people that you want.
Well, maybe.
Well, I think even if Michigan Avenue changed to look like, what is it?
63rd?
Times Square. They still get people there, and Times Square got everything.
Man, but when you go, where's the tax base? When you go to Times Square, people are going to look, right? Michigan Avenue is
they're looking too. They're not profitable.
Huh?
They're not that profitable.
That's my point. But I'm saying Michigan Avenue for Chicago is profitable. It is the number one tax base. Right. Retail tax base in the city. Right. So, again, replacing that with Target, right? I'm just telling y'all that if you put Target on Michigan Avenue, expect that Michigan Avenue will not be the Magnificent Mile. There will be retail there, and there may be, but it's going to start being anybody who can now afford to get the bargain basement price. The other thing I was just going to...
Maybe there's no such thing as a flagship store anymore then.
Perhaps. We may not have made it there yet, and maybe this is it. But if we don't have flagships, then Michigan Avenue is dead. Like, what?
No, not necessarily. Well...
Everybody's moving out of downtown, so think about people trying to get away from the residency. Look, we got to stop and take a break, and we'll come back after these messages. The Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
My name is Cassandra J. Matz, current Village of Olympia Fields trustee and your candidate for Village President of Olympia Fields. I've been a resident of Olympia Fields for 28 years. I believe in building strategic partnerships, establishing governance boundaries, and have and will continue to dedicate my life's work as a respected and credible voice when it comes to decision making. Olympia Fields has always been a community of familiarity and comfort, and I want to make sure the village stays that way. On Tuesday, April 6th, vote Cassandra J. Matz for your Olympia Fields Village President. Paid for by Citizens for Cassandra J. Matz.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Shout out to the Bigs. They just wrapped up another edition of On the Soil. They talked to Eric Davis. I didn't know that brother was like all that cold.
I didn't either.
You know, Gino is the baseball expert, right? So whatever he say, that's how I'm rolling. So just hearing how he's been talking about him since they actually scheduled that interview made me like look like how cold was this dude? It's legit.
Shout out to Don for the guest. Look.
Yeah, Don is the deal, G.
Guest look is outrageous.
Don is the plug.
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. She is the plug.
Don is dead at the plug.
Gino and Mace. Why are we being left out over here?
Well, that's not really true.
Okay, well, break it down for me.
Oh, a wise guy, eh?
What'd she do? She set us up with Scoop.
Okay.
I've had Scoop's number for a while.
Salute.
But even like I'm associated to it, Don is like, boom. You know what I'm saying? So I be like, hey, let's get you on the show sometime. I'm like, yeah, let's set it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. Don like, hey, yo, I need you on the show tomorrow. Like, okay.
Okay.
Sit your $5 down before I make change.
Like, it's different with the big little sis, man.
The last of the Gambinos or something.
For real. She about that action. So shout out to Don, man. Shout out to the Book of Don.
WIFTBPM. Parenting in a Pandemic, powered by the Chicagoland Mom Squad, hosted by me, Tennille Jackson. Today's guest will be Beulah McLeod. It's not 2021 that this is getting fixed. Focus on your child and let's figure out what's going to work individually for you, but respect that people are making for them and don't shame them for them.
Everybody makes different choices for different reasons, and you don't know what somebody's situation is. And equity is not giving everybody the same thing. Equity is giving everybody what he or she needs to be successful. If you want to do remote should be high quality. If you want to come back, it should be high quality. It's not necessarily about the mode of delivery. It's about what is the quality level of any of those particular modes. We have to have empathy. Right now, I can see the teachers arguing. A lot of them are scared. I get that, right? I get the parents arguing. Everybody experiences that level of, I don't know how to help my baby with this thing. So parents are frustrated. We gotta just try to see each other's perspective, and I don't think we do enough of that. I think we get locked into our own viewpoint. This is what I think, and that's just it, and that's why we can never get to a solution. We need options, because everything is not gonna be good for everybody.
All right, well, Angela Oya Fumike. As you know, this is I Do, I Did, I Don't on the What's in It for the Black People media. Start our way into this journey of divorce and healing. So we came together under a survival mentality, not under a friendship of being in love. First being friends, and then being in love or growing in love. We came together under, we're trying to survive, we're two kids trying to survive. Okay, we're going to survive together, because if you're handling this end of the survival and I'm handling this end,
years that you've accepted this is what it's been, and now you've made this decision, and he wasn't there. He wasn't even seeing that you were done.
Here's what it was. Just like I ignored on the front end that he didn't love me like that, he was so disconnected from me by the point when I decided to leave that he didn't see the writing on the wall.
Wow.
Just didn't see it. But he didn't know that woman because he never took the time to meet her.
Mm-hmm. And so you created your plan, and that's key, I think, in having a plan. If you are going to, whether you're deciding together that this isn't going to work any longer and we're splitting, and having a plan on how you're going to move forward is pretty key. You knew at this point I had to create your own plan, and you were moving forward with that. In my case, I didn't have a plan. Things happened pretty abruptly, and I was creating the plan on the fly along the way. I don't recommend that. You forgive yourself. You forgive you. Do the work of forgiving yourself that you may be able to actually forgive others.
WBGX.
Been trying to reach you all day. What's the deal? Keep it real, baby. You can't even pick up and call me. Matter of fact, at this point, I just feel that you're trying to play me for a fool. Baby, that ain't cool. Now that ain't cool. See, you've been running around like you've been single, looking for a good time so you can mingle. Got me out here looking stupid. You out here with your bow like a cupid, but I guess it's cool. Guess I was just another hit on your hit list, another good time that you wouldn't miss. But I blame myself for all these things that I felt. You were nothing but a savage, seeking no ways you could scavenge. This thing I thought was real turned out to be nothing more than a feel. It's petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. That's what we got. Petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love, yeah. Oh, now you're trying to reach me. Just the other day you call yourself trying to treat me. Now it's can we talk, oh baby, can you see me? Cause you can't take what I'm doing. Is that cool? Now that ain't cool. But I blame myself for all these feelings that I felt. You were nothing but a savage, seeking on those you could scavenge. This thing I thought was real turned out to be nothing more than a feel. It's petty love, petty love, petty love, petty love. Ooh. Petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. Yeah. Why'd you have to hurt me, boy? I thought you were so deserving, boy. You took my love for granted, boy. I'll just take this as a lesson, boy. Petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. Petty love, petty love, petty love. But I blame myself for all these feelings that I felt. You were nothing but a savage, seeking no rules you could scavenge. This thing I thought was real turned out to be nothing more than a feel. Petty love, petty love, petty love. That's what we got. Yeah. Petty love.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
In it for the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies now, other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze, it's Sonia, and Ruthie, and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve on.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Sonia Escobar in the building, and y'all doing her thing is Cousin Juan in the building.
Hello.
Representing the blue and white. Did you representing Chicago made me, West Side raised me. Did they ever get books at your high school? What was that school? What was they? The Collins Kitty Cats. What was it?
I got street knowledge and book knowledge.
You're right. The books. She got the books off the street. Shout out to Cousin Juan in the building. Shout out to you. You went to Collins. You know, I think I saw Commissioner Dennis Deere. This weekend at a meeting. I was at a meeting.
He went to Collins?
A virtual meeting. He went to Collins. I was like, is that still a school? Is it still around?
Yes, it is.
How many students they got?
It's got to be one of the newer schools, right?
Yeah. Well, they opened it first like in '79 or something, and then So that's like new.
That's not really new. Chicago.
It's Chicago
new. Go
new.
Bolingbrook.
Yeah.
Did I mention we just built $100 million facility in Bolingbrook? Just maybe like in 5 years ago.
Doesn't surprise me.
I mean, I'm saying like.
Okay. I mean, that's all y'all got.
Not actually. Hold on. Hey, Ernest Crank. Yo, Crank, come get your girl. I'm gonna have to tag him and be like, look who is rocking with us. It is the whole family in the building. It's good to have my cousin in the building. I ain't seen you in a minute, cuz.
I know, y'all. Well, Maisie text me like 5 minutes before.
Nah, I be texting her at like 7:30. Boy, I'm like.
I let me get back to it.
I be like, Juan, you want to do the show tomorrow? She's like,
because I have to prepare. So when you told me, I'm like, okay, that week is great.
2 weeks out. I had to tell her 2 weeks out.
But that's what I made sure I had some music submitted from some local artists. I'm like, y'all need some more music.
Shout out to who was that artist, Sonia, that you were playing just a minute ago?
Simply Britt.
Yeah. Simply Britt. Shout out to Simply Britt. That was a nice little song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Juan had a whole bunch of music. Cynthia, I'm gonna tell y'all, we expanding our whole kind of concept, so it's a lot coming up. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We'll be looking for more. Actually, we're gonna be looking for videos too. Okay. Because we're doing the Chicago video show. It's gonna be locally based, but if you got a music video, it's like we're gonna have two versions. Mm-hmm. One like Sherry and like Video Soul, like Sherry and Donnie.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have one like The Basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, uncut.
Yeah.
Well, that's the late night. We already got his Wednesday, so that's our uncut already.
Yeah, so I work with Next Showcase, which is Mark Hubbard, who used to be the president of the Grammy board. So I'm always like their resident panelist. That's always there, and it's all about local Chicago artists.
So I'd love to get a partnership going. Let's get that cracking.
Yeah, you should.
Because we can play their videos, give them an opportunity to come in, sit down with an interview.
They would love that.
You know what I'm saying? Team it up. So Cousin Juan always there. Cousin Juan, when you going to do your own show? Why don't you just give us an hour a week? You tripping.
That's like thought process.
You tripping.
I'm so a natural being.
That's what I'm saying. Just do one.
Comes out.
Just do. That's what you could do on your show for 1 hour a week.
No pressure.
Right. No pressure. I'm just saying. Like, you just do all entertainment. Like, you ain't even got to be black. I think, though, no, because we're rounding out, right?
Yes.
And I do think that one of the things that I've been trying to say is that there's so much to enjoy. One of the things that I appreciate about when I'm not grumbling about your Facebook page is there's always like interesting activities, things to do, places about, like I've learned, I think I know Chicago pretty well, but I really feel like entertainment has really become the niche, and I think that you're going to, as we emerge from this, be a go-to person in that space. And so just even keeping Black Chicago, and quite frankly, our listening audience is way more than Black, but keeping us aware and not allowing us to slip into there's nothing to do, or slipping into the, we only know about what's happening over here.
Exactly.
And like you've done some crazy festivals where I've been like, what kind of chairs are these? What is this? And I just think that as we seek to return back to some sense of normalcy, just trying to provide some positivity in people. So just think about it. Half hour even, 45 minutes, hour, come on in, sit down, pop it off, and then it's out there. And then once a week, and then it becomes a vehicle for you
I would have to, because I know May's be looking at how many people viewing. I would have to have it where y'all people looking at May's show, my first week, y'all got to make sure my numbers if I decide to do that. So
you're going to do it.
I'll be
you'll do it, and we'll make sure you get some numbers. We'll make sure you get some numbers.
Right.
But quite frankly, Juan, I think that you will
I'll
pull
have
numbers.
Everybody on there.
That's the point.
Okay.
We know. I know what I'll be doing. People be, I be thinking sometimes people think I'm stupid. Like I've been doing things for years. Like I know it's all good. One day though, you just gotta fine tweak it. Sometimes it's all good. Speaking of fine tweaking it, did you all see the story? So first of all, shout out to the 6 people that sent me different versions of this story yesterday. Matter of fact, somebody sent this story to me while we were on air yesterday, and I couldn't get to it. Did you see that the United Commercial Food Workers Union wants to start to unionize the cannabis employees?
Oh.
The unions want their cannabis cut even before Black people get a shot at the entry into the industry. So for tickles and giggles, did you know that there are now 17,000 cannabis employees in the state of Illinois?
I believe that.
17,000. That has propelled and growing.
How many Black managers?
First of all, I don't even want to talk about the managers because I'm still at the ownership.
Oh, I'm still at the ownership, but
at the ownership. So with 0 owners, I'm sure that there's plenty of dreadlocked, locked Black owners, Black and white people with locks. Both of them.
Both of them do, yeah.
They're probably managers, but I really think when you think about the fact that they are making $3 million a day.
Wow.
Over $1 billion a year. We are right now 3rd in cannabis sales, and it looks like we're going to be number 2 to California rapidly.
Wow.
Colorado, first being California, second being Colorado, third being Illinois. And now the labor is now looking to move in. Now, where they're looking to move in though, is on the $15 an hour bud tenders. Right?
Wait, bud tenders don't even make $15 an hour?
They make $15 an hour.
Oh, I'm like, they should make more.
The fight is for 15.
Bud tender, though?
A bud
tender is the counter work.
Yeah,
okay.
and they have to be knowledgeable of everything in the store. So they're like a bartender, but a bud tender.
But to me, the fight is for 15. For labor is to get to 15. Right. So they're already doing that.
Right.
They also are already providing them health care and insurance. Now, let me start off by saying there is nothing that I am not trying to protect any of these white boys in this cannabis industry. As a matter of fact, I do think that some of the brothers need to be organized and start. I mean, they done started cartel actions. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But my thought here is that if labor is still trying to get to $15 an hour for everybody else, for the McDonald's employees, for all of these, and these guys started at 15, they're fighting to get insurance and health care, and the bud tenders already get that. What is this but a money grab? And while I am...
Wait, so if they already get that, then why do they need the union?
That's my point.
Okay.
But now...
Well, the union could always say their work is...
They should get $20 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that but every bit that they go up, the union goes up. But here's my point.
What union would they be with?
The United Commercial and Food Workers. United Commercial Food Workers. Until SEIU decides.
Agriculture.
Well, then until everybody decides that they want to get in. Right? Because then what's going to happen is different unions are going to start organizing these groups. Right? So watch. Don't be surprised if SEIU decides they want to organize. Right?
They could.
Low-wage workers. But again, white people in charge of the unions saying, y'all getting money over there, we got to get some. Now, the $15 an hour, let me back up. How are the white boys getting cut in on every level at this point? And we still ain't in it. Think about, they're like, hold on, y'all making $3 million a day, we got to eat.
Wouldn't that still be the majority of the people that are in politics are black? Like, why? How does this happen?
No, union.
Well, first, the majority aren't black. I don't. At least not in,
what?
Not in Springfield.
The majority of
legislators.
Yeah, they're not black.
Oh,
It's only 20 out of 70.
It's just more blacks in Chicago.
Yeah, we have the most amount of black elected officials in the country, but we're still not the majority.
Gotcha.
Right.
So we can't just do anything by ourselves.
Gotcha.
Go ahead, Todd. Now what we can do is be bullies. And be
I'm
like,
just
ain't nobody
saying what
white
he's saying.
eating unless we eat. Because if they can block anything.
Right.
But my point now becomes, first of all, this is part of the reason why we can't be fighting in the black cannabis space.
Right.
Right? That's why,
So wait, the blacks are fighting each other?
No, they are black people are now starting to come together in the cannabis space.
Okay.
And we're going to say that they have tentatively reached a day moving towards unification. Cool. So that means everybody from Chicago Normal to Scene to Ricky Hendon's group to just all of the groups. And quite frankly, I'm not going to shade any of the black groups, including Chicago Normal at this point.
Chicago Normal is a company?
No, it's a group of cannabis. It's a cannabis organization.
Is that hurting to come out?
Nope.
Oh.
Not. Here's what I'm gonna do though, because what I've come to the recognition is that the more that we continue to bang the white guys, bang each other in this process, the white boys are moving the ball, and now another group has gotten in. So before, the concern of cannabis was getting it right for black people, right? The equity, the social equity. Well, now labor, who I would have thought would have been on our side. Remember, they be talking about they all about social justice and merged and all that. Yeah. You would have thought that their fight would not be how do we get our dues. The fight would be how do we ensure that there is true black equity in the game. But they like, man, at $3 million a day, at $1 billion a year, we got to eat. In Illinois, not a dime bag gets sold in the park, literally, unless they get a piece. Now, for me, I got to ask, how do we allow labor to then get a one leg up on us? So here's what's going to happen. The white boy controlled cannabis industry, no black owners, are going to come to terms with the labor group. While we have absolutely no vote because we have no ownership. So they're going to set the rules for labor in the black community where we're already disenfranchised, and we're going to come into the space where we're not even included in the decision-making process as to whether we want to be unionized. Are you telling me that the social equity program now is going to be protecting labor before it protects black people?
So when you do a union, the people that are coming together to unionize, they don't vote to become the union, so the bud tenders wouldn't vote to
they
become
vote.
The union? Okay.
They vote, but here's what happens. There is no organized voice that represents us in this industry on either side.
Right.
And so basically, if you're a poor guy, right, because quite frankly, the bud tenders, if I come to you and say, if you work with me, I'm going to get you to $20 an hour.
You're going to say yes.
You rocking with
You're
that.
not going to look at the depth of
You're
it.
not going, because you ain't in the ownership path.
Right. Right.
You saying, man, I just want to get $20 an hour because I got to feed my family.
True.
Which is fine until now we got a black owner that is now getting his arm twisted by labor, who we've seen them do on work projects, right? If you in construction, they will roll up on you and be like, you building in a black neighborhood, they will roll up on you and put a rat up because you working with black people from your own neighborhood.
Right.
They
And
still do that?
if
Yes.
they unionized before there are black owners, if the black legislators want to make moves and stop things because there aren't black owners, the union won't be on their side because they have people on the other side who are getting paid.
Right. So the union, once the union gets in the game, then the unions become against us in getting ownership, right? Because the labor is now on the side of, if I got 17,000 people paying me $10 a month, right? That's $170,000 a month I'm getting from the industry as it is. $170,000 a month.
So are you thinking?
Talk to that mic.
Because are you thinking that like that them unionizing is a bad idea? Because I've seen unions in a lot of instances help people.
I think that unions, the concept of unions is always good. I think that we got to get this thing in order, though. It's like, so everybody sees, so Black Wealth Initiative, give you an example. Black Wealth Initiative says that we're going to look at every industry and we're going to say, what is our path to wealth in this? Labor does the same thing. They say, we're going to look at every industry. We see this new industry popping up that is 100 and that has 17,000 workers that are disorganized. That's $170,000 a month that we can be getting if we can get people to organize. Labor has not necessarily benefited us. Let me back up. So now you got in the industry, you got the rich white boys. They control an entity in this. You got now labor, who is like, we are now controlling all the employees. Now we enter the game as black folks, and we have no say in any of our determination. So now you want to go open up, but labor says you got to pay the people in your neighborhood $25 an hour. But damn, man, I'm still trying to get off the floor from trying to put my business together. Now labor is on the side of the rich white people because you're saying, no, I can't afford to pay $25 an hour. So they say, we want to shut the black dude down when the rich guys got $1 billion so they could pay everything.
Gotcha.
And at the whole time this is happening, because we have nobody in the business, we don't have a say. You can't walk up to the table. All of the Cresco is going to be able to negotiate. Verano is going to be able to negotiate. All of them are because we represent X number thousands of employees. We got to pay the paychecks, etc. We pay the benefits and all of that negotiation. We're not in any of it. So when you open up your cannabis dispensary with your scrapped up $100,000 that you done borrowed from everybody in your family, and then they tell you that not only do you have to pay $25 an hour, you also have to pay health care and benefits when you was like, Jesus. And I'm not saying you want to cut people out, but you ain't even have a chance. You ain't even get to say, I get a ramp up, I get a clause, I got 10 employees. You're not even in the conversation because we don't even have a stake in the game.
Right.
And labor will be determining how we operate. Now, let me back up. Now in a time where there is no Speaker Madigan, there is no 800-pound gorilla, the labor has unlimited money, and so does the cannabis people. So guess what the biggest fear of an elected official is? Somebody working against them. Now, if I'm cannabis, I would be a cannabis. If the cannabis industry said, hey, yo, we want you to run against a black guy and we'll finance your campaign because we know that going forward, you'll pass, we need you to be with us as we grow our industry. Guess what? Now, the black people in our the biggest force in our neighborhood is not us. The biggest forces in our neighborhood are the white cannabis industry who want to block us and labor who is now teamed up with the rich white guys, right? We've seen this happen before. Labor unions, it works for white people. And it works for the wealthy white people. For the unions that come to us, I don't want to call them payday loan companies, But like there are the high-end, high-wage unions, which is the building trades, and then there are the people that take us and say, we'll get it off of the masses, right? So we get the SEIUs, the United Commercial Food Workers, who make the low wage, but have way more people. So they make their money in quantity, right? So I want all the janitors, I want all the people that make $9 or $10 an hour.
Yeah, because there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of those people. So I'll take $3 or $5 from them every month, right? Whereas if you on the top end labor, you got the guys that are making 50 or 75, so you take 25, but it's less of them.
Right.
But again, in this fight, we are divvied up amongst the white people to be dealt with.
So how do you change that? How do you change that?
I think the first thing is we got to get our cannabis we got to get in the game. We're not
but
even.
Isn't it too late to get in the game?
No, that's what these licenses and that's what these lotteries are about, and that's why we.
But if the lottery is a lottery, how do you know they'll be black?
That there and aha,
I mean, I'm just
and that's
saying,
but okay, so and Juan, this then goes to your other question, which was with black elected officials. Who said something? Like now, I'm gonna say this. Having long talks with President Pro Tem Gordon Booth, a lot of the legislators are parking the implementation of the cannabis laws in the office of the governor, right?
What does that mean, parking it?
So there's pass the law, and then there's the people in charge of executing.
Okay.
They passed the laws with the intent of including us.
But wait. They passed the law the first time to include us and it didn't. So is this real?
Yeah. I think that the social equity program was, quote unquote, created to ensure that there was black inclusion. They wrote us out of it the first time with the medical.
Oh, so it's a new one coming.
No. That last one. He's talking about the last one.
The last one was
just
written,
wasn't done well.
It was right. It was written by the people who knew how to they wrote their own loopholes in it.
Gotcha.
And if you're the legislator with the 600 pages, you don't recognize, and you ain't a lawyer, you don't recognize that the veteran exception is the loophole that all the white people are going to walk through.
Gotcha.
So out comes this lottery that we now have. They're attempting to fix it with a Lottery 1B and a couple of other issues. The challenge, though, is now let me back up. So in talking to everybody, the legislators say, yes, we passed the law and it didn't work. It didn't come out the way we intended. But the governor's office hired KPMG. That was a rigged company that had people and all of the people in the governor's office were in on the fix. Maybe not the governor himself,
right?
But all of the people that he doesn't deal with on a daily basis were in on the fix. And those were all the people who wound up getting the licenses. Now, what we haven't seen yet is anyone from the governor's office speak up on this, right? And every time we want to have somebody, Anjanette Young or something like that, we got a black face marching to the mic. But what we haven't seen is anybody from the governor's office speak on the lack of equity. And
do you think they don't speak on it because they don't know how to answer it? I mean, the answer is
they're not taking the $1 billion a year. It's like, don't parade no black people up in front of me talking about Anjanette Young while you robbing the whole joint, sticking us all up, and we talking about look over there while we steal you.
Who is Anjanette?
And on that note, we're going to take a break.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Today we learned that a Kentucky state grand jury found that the officer responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. Rulings like this one set us back and come as yet another challenge to the hard work and progress we've already made. It means we fight even harder against the systems of inequality and injustice designed to keep too many of us down. We will and we must continue to say her name. We will and we must continue to demand justice. And we will and we must do everything in our power to prevent any more names from being added to this roll, like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rekia Boyd, Laquan McDonald, and too many others. I want you to know that I support you and will do everything in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast? And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video.
You need to tell me what you're looking for. What are you looking for?
Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter is handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Oh my God, this cannot be right. How is this legal? Because the COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this.
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
You have the wrong place. You got the wrong house. You got the wrong house.
We will and we must continue to say her name.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
Check, 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 check. Oh, please, don't you rock my boat, 'cause I don't want my boat to be right. Rock my boat. Oh, please, don't you rock my boat. Oh, no, no, 'cause I don't want my boat to be right. I'm telling you just oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I like it like this. Keep this just like this. And you should know by now. I like it. I like it like this. Yeah. Satisfy my soul. Oh yeah. Satisfy my soul. Every little action satisfy my soul. There's a reaction satisfy my soul. Oh, can't you see what you've done for me? Oh yeah, I'm happy inside all of the time. When we bend a new corner, I feel like a sweet six winner. When I meet you around the corner.
You are tuned in to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Got my cousin Juan in the building. Talk about who is Anjanette Young.
I just had to say the woman that got raided. That was horrible, but I don't remember the whole name.
Okay. Well, you better lock that one in, because I would not let nobody forget if they had you standing up there, Juan, with the we would have been like, save. Oh, well, let me stop. Save one.
No, that was horrible. I
was going to tell a joke, but I'm not. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host.
I would become a millionaire.
She ain't. Not according to the mayor.
Why?
That woman, the mayor was like, that woman.
I
mean, I wouldn't even need the city money. People just seeing me naked, I'd be
You'd be like, check out my OnlyFans. Juan, you got OnlyFans?
Kim Kardashian did.
Do you got an OnlyFans?
Do I have what?
OnlyFans?
No, what's that?
Stop fronting. Juan got OnlyFans. Look, Juan, they trying to figure out where your OnlyFans is. We gonna figure that out before.
I don't know what that is.
Look, she said, if they would have seen me up there naked, I would have got $1 million just cause.
$1 million.
Million. Okay.
Kicked off my own reality show and everything after that. She better work it. Get your
And what does that show come out? What was the name? What was the name of that show?
Hers?
Yeah. Or yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
Just
Juan.
Just
Juan. Juan exposed. All right. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Todd Stroger, Sonia Escobar, and Just Juan.
Just Juan. That's what it'll be called. Just Juan.
Okay. Let's move on. So I want to talk about this, but I told you that I was sure that we should not have homeless people in Chicago anymore. Not in the cold. Like they could be homeless and they could be at Tent City during the summertime and spring, but like when we have those polar vortex type days, I'm convinced that there should be no one left outside, because after I saw what they were able to do at the United Center in 2 days, as far as building a facility that looks like a straight up tent hospital camp with doors and drive-throughs and electricity and power, I was like, look, they could do anything. And Jay say difficult take a day, impossible take a week. They could solve homelessness, but it gets me to what we're going to talk about now, which is the United Center. Did you see yesterday that the mayor declared that the United Center is off limits to people from the suburbs? That they saw that when we opened up the United Center vaccine location, where it's like a super center. It's like a vaccine super center.
And everybody can come from all over.
No.
It was at first.
It was. And as we saw with like the local black hospitals and all of the places, any place in the inner city, white people were going there anywhere they could to get a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so even you would go to black places where it was super black and you never saw white people be lining
I took mine as I was in Inglewood.
You was in Inglewood.
I took my shot in Inglewood, and it was 10 people in line and only 2 were black.
See? Because we still got vaccine hesitancy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't even know if that is as much true, because then once I did my post, I had so many people were trying to get it that were black and that were lived in Inglewood, but they couldn't get an appointment.
So I'm with you that there are a lot of people that want to get the appointment, but I also think that there's vaccine hesitancy.
Oh, agreed.
So I think that there is I don't want to say a class, but there's a group of people I think I'm officially in the group where it's like, yo, just give me the shot. I'm rolling. I'm just done. Like they said, I could take off my mask. I'm rolling. I'm getting.
I always say, give me the shot white people get, because then later on you're gonna get the generic brand. Later.
Right.
I'm just saying, I'm getting what they getting the shot with.
Get it now.
Give me right now, because next. And
they're gonna come up with the heebie-jeebie version.
It's gonna be that generic version. It's gonna
watered
be
down.
It's like Pfizer,
right?
But
right. It's like it's Miser. It's Pfizer, right? It's Pfizer. There's no F. That look just like
it. Looks just like. Give me what the president getting.
Right. Remdesivir. No. But they changed it to so we saw the governor. So to me, the governor. First of all, let's back up. There was pushback from the city and the county when the governor said that he was opening up the vaccines. They both were like, "We ain't got enough. We don't want to do it." Then when he opened up the United Center to open up the space, there was a fight between the governor and the mayor. The governor opened up, and it was a national partnership, right? And then we saw that Mayor Lightfoot kind of took it over. Anything that happens at a sports arena, I think she just owned it. I think she I'm getting all my perks. I'm getting all my ticket perks because I ain't going to have them much longer. So I'm getting it all now. But she then jumped into the United Center. They all kicked off the opening of it. And now we saw that the mayor declared yesterday that the United Center vaccination site is only for Chicago residents. Now, they declared that it was only for Chicago residents to ensure equitable distribution.
Mm-hmm.
They also said that it was placed at the United Center so that it could be at the most easily accessible spot for people of color, their word, I'm going to say for black folks. Should they have shut the site down at the United Center? I was under the impression when the governor launched it that it was a statewide site. Should they have shut it down and made it only available to Chicago residents?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Because with me, I follow everybody. So I don't know if you guys know, there's a Facebook thing called Chicago Vaccine Hunters. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
So there's a whole like a Facebook, and it was
Vaccine Hunters.
Vaccine Hunt, and it was started by a 9th grader.
Okay.
And pretty much the majority of all of them is white people, and all it is they give tools. It's a whole. I got the whole Google. I copy everything they do. But it's a Google tell you where you should go, how you should manipulate the system to get in. And probably about 70% of them are people from like suburbs that are trying to come into Chicago, into our neighborhoods and come and get the vaccination.
Now, are we being denied those vaccines? Are black people? So I'd be curious to know, like are black folks, is there a shortage of vaccines still? First of all,
no, I don't think there's a shortage. I think this is one of the things I think one of them is a lot of the black people are not, a lot of the people that want the shot don't know how to do like the websites. Like they don't know how to do online, and they don't know how to refresh the screen. They don't know how to work the screen. That's one. And then number two, the phone lines put you on hold forever. So I think the disconnect is that a lot of people that want to get the shots honestly don't know from their phones how to use it. And I'm talking about people in their like 40s and stuff like that. They don't actually know how to go use online and go make your appointment like this. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to follow up when they're getting emails in their inbox because they're not usually looking at their Hotmails and stuff like that. So I think, and then like I said, the hotline that they're calling, they can't get in. So I think there's a lot of people that want to get the vaccination. I get about a good 20 texts a day saying, do you know anywhere to get the vaccination? Do you know anywhere to get the vaccination? And a lot of these people are in the class right now that should actually be getting the appointments.
So that goes actually to my point. Have they actually done the work necessary to get people to get the shots? See, I feel like, I don't know about I will give you the seniors and the refresh, but I find it hard. And even on the seniors will go home to get their phone.
Mm-hmm.
And seniors got smartphones. Now, I'm not going to go to the point that I feel like one of the biggest, and maybe I'm wrong here, they talk often about how we don't know or how to access or use technology, and I often find that the most technologically savvy people are black. That's just me. I also think that this concept of people are not registering or not signing up because they don't know how to get it is one of two things. It's a failure to communicate, or they're lying.
Or because I've tried it, or what has happened in our, like neighborhoods like Inglewood, Hyde Park, and things of that sort, is that the appointments get filled because somebody has been given a link out that is not us that fill up all the appointments. So then when you do get there, like there should not be.
So you're saying they got in the side door?
Yeah, because let me tell you, like at Roseland Hospital, there are like 20 white people and it'd be 2 black at Roseland Hospital.
But that's okay. So
yeah, I know somebody who went to the Mexican American Museum. And they said at least 50% of the people were white and below 50.
Yeah. And then like with me, when I went, I knew they weren't from, I know people moving into Inglewood, but I knew they weren't from, because they all on their Google Maps trying to make the left, make the right. I'm like, they're more afraid of COVID than they are carjacking, anything else going on, because they coming in Inglewood to get that shot.
But the carjackings ain't happening in Inglewood, just for the record.
True.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. It's not that goes to my point.
Yeah.
Everybody talk about Inglewood, but all I'm saying is that there's things where when people do try to show up that are black and stuff like that, they get turned away because a lot of their appointments
So
are
let me
being
ask you a
taken.
question. So how do we know this at Roseland? And let me back up. How does it happen? How does it happen? So at the hospital in the community with with the highest COVID response in the city, COVID positives in the city, how does it equivalent? Like, I have literally heard white people talking about they are going to Roseland.
Yeah.
Confidently, like I'm not sitting there, like I don't know where Roseland is to go get a shot, and they're taking their families.
Yeah.
Now, I still feel as though there is a fundamental lack of a failure to communicate the access points for people.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, if we know that this group is not able to go online, what is the alternative program? Right? Like, don't tell me, oh, we're addressing inequity on social media and saying that these people don't have access, but then everything you telling them about is on social media.
Well,
and you think about it, what we have done is, and what makes us feel comfortable is, I looked at my feed, or I looked at the mayor. I look at the mayor's office, and you look at their feed, and they got 10,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
And their assumption is that those 10,000 views is going to be enough to get people to come. And I just don't know if there's been an effective outreach campaign.
I don't think so either. I think, and I'll always tell people, you take the grassroots approach with stuff like that, is that you literally have to have street teams going door to door, putting stuff in people's mail, and that's not happening. Like, to me, I think sometimes that's the most, even though we got social media, but right now, even in social media, there's so much digital content, things get lost. Because even it took me a hard time. I did a post with all this vaccination stuff, and it took me a hard time to find it. I think a lot of it is, I forgot what organization it was, and I thought it was great that they did walk-ins, 18 and older, you can come, and it was in Inglewood, but you had to live in a certain area. I mean, you had to have a certain, they told you, like, if you put your address in, they're like, you can't come. So it was strictly for people that lived in Inglewood.
But again, if you put white people in charge of so if Sean Penn and the white people are in charge of the vaccine in the black neighborhood because they give you the best PR, but they don't know the difference between the white folks in the neighborhood and the black folks, but we clapping.
Right.
Is the goal really to equitably distribute the vaccine, or to market that you've equitably tried to distribute the vaccine? Because again, if you pull up to black spaces, if black folks knew that black folks was dying and they was in charge, they'd be like, yo, white boy,
Right.
Like, to me, it should be a spotter in the line that's like, let me see your ID.
Yeah.
Let me see. But that's because the interest is not necessarily to get the equity. It is to get the appearance of equity.
Right.
So you take
you got people coming from Poison, wherever that.
Poison.
Wherever
Poison.
Whatever.
Poison is right by Blue Island.
Somebody was like, I'm like, wait, how are you? Like, I don't understand how these people are even coming to like, how do you even know how to get here?
Well, I mean, I think Google Maps. I mean, I think.
I know, but I'm just still saying, how did you get here?
Because, again, white folks going to look out for white folks.
Right.
They're going to look out for white folks, period. And I say, if you're telling me that our city knows that we had a limited amount of vaccines and they're at public locations, I'm talking about the public health distributions. Right? They've never been concerned with stopping the white folks before.
Mm-hmm.
This seems to be, and so are they truly concerned with equity, or the appearance to market that they were concerned with equity?
I get what you're saying.
Because again, if you are distributing if they don't want me to have something,
right,
they are very clear how to deny me that access.
Right.
So you're telling me that somebody can show up at a City of Chicago joint all up until this point and show opposing ID and get So if that's the case, when did equity become a concern? It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning.
Our Attorney General Kwame Raoul.
I have reached out to the Hospital Association and the Med Society to talk about how proactively we can talk about implicit bias in healthcare and begin to address the situation system-wide, because I've also simultaneously directed my civil rights team to begin to look at that and look at ways that it may have manifested itself. We've done so historically with regards to the nursing home industry, where you've had some nursing home owners that staff disparately. So if they're in the black community, they won't have much staff as they will in a white community. We've taken that on from a civil rights standpoint, and we're prepared to take on other instances of implicit bias in healthcare.
Utilizing your office to investigate civil rights and healthcare as a civil rights issue. That's actually pretty powerful, and it demonstrates how we have to be working in coordinated efforts with our elected officials in places and positions of power.
What about my love? Seems you have forgotten love. I do believe that something went wrong somewhere. What about my feelings? Do they mean anything at all? You got me so in love, I'm too blind to see. And that you got my love, now you wanna put me down. And that you got my love, got me standing on shaky ground. What about it, baby? What about the days and the nights we spend? What about the love we made so sweet? Are you sure you wanna live? Think it over, baby. 'Cause girl, I believe, I think you just might wanna change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't need to come around. Now that you got my love, got me standing on shaky ground. What kind of way is that to treat your man? When I gave all that I never had, you got me going through changes of life with you. Are you sure you wanna live? Think it over, babe. 'Cause girl, I believe, I think you just might wanna, you Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Before you leave out the door, before you leave out the door, baby, won't you change your mind? Really wish you would change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Now that you got my love, you don't come around. Now that you got all my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. Oh my, I had a conversation with her. This is how it went. Before you leave out the door, before you leave out the door, baby, won't you change your mind? Oh, Lord have mercy. 'Cause I need you and you need me. I know we can be happy. Just wait and see. Baby, won't you change your mind? I'll do better if you change your mind. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, got me standing on shaky. Now that you got my love, you don't even come around. Now that you got my love, you got me standing on shaky ground. Baby, won't you change your mind? Baby, won't you change your mind? Oh no, I've been hoping, baby. I've been praying, baby. Yes, I have. Baby, won't you change your mind? Oh no.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Man, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Sonia Escobar.
But I didn't have anything to say. Sorry.
Yeah, you've been failing me, man.
I have.
Tom, why are you looking at your phone all the way up, but then have your glasses up there?
Because then I'd have to look at it over here. So I just prefer to be closer than further.
I mean, you like had it all the way here.
Hey,
look, Juan. Don't be talking about
no,
our
I
seniors.
just was wondering.
Respect the seniors, man.
Yeah, right.
Give him his senior. She is a senior. Todd's 60. Todd's 65.
That's not. Is that senior? You're not 65. Are you really?
No, I'm not 65.
Oh, I was about to say.
All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show.
The vociferous.
Most vociferous. Juan, let me tell you. This is how you know Juan went to Collins. Because she said it sounds like vociferous. I was like, now maybe you are more maybe they were more familiar with syphilis than vociferous.
Whatever.
It's all good though. It's all good. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I
just realized it's more conversation. I thought it was just
we go till 9 o'clock. You think I just show up?
I thought it was one page.
No, it's 3.
Okay.
You think I just show up here? I wake up. I work. While y'all sleeping, while you was not working on your hair this morning,
I don't work on it. It just shakes like
it's
this.
You just shook it out this morning.
Yeah, I just shook it out. Maze actually has great handwriting.
I can read most of it.
I'm gonna tell you, as you can tell when I start to get towards the end, or when I get a little frustrated, sometimes I get a little speedy. But it is this Maze Jackson Show, and I felt like I would love to have this conversation because Juan was going to be here. And let me just back up. Meghan Markle, was it Markle or Merkel? Meghan Markle.
I just call her Meghan.
Anyway.
Yeah, right.
So I remember when this whole thing, she married Prince Harry, who is the second son of Princess Diana, who was supposed to be the people's queen. Now, I ain't never been into none of this royal stuff except for the cash.
I love Diana.
The cat, I don't. She's just another plain Jane white girl who they sold us a love story, right? I feel like the royals and the whole thing is like, it is, when I look at it, is the bastion, it is the crown of white supremacy. It is the centerpiece of white supremacy globally throughout time. That is the symbolic representation of it. When you think about how many people died across the world at the hands of the monarchy, particularly black people, there is nothing about the crown that I find like admirable. I'm not trying to get there. Let's just put it that way.
I don't think like with me, I don't think I tried to get there. I think I just became a fan of Prince Diana. And of course you love the wedding, but I think I got more involved with her story after the divorce.
I think a lot of people did, which is why we even care about Harry. Right?
Yeah.
Like why anybody cares about Harry. Because there's this story of these poor young boys. And quite frankly, it's playing out interestingly where Prince, was it William and Harry? What's his brother? William?
William.
Mm-hmm.
So William has taken on the mantle. And if you watch The Crown, it really makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
But Prince William is the next person in line. He's going to be the king. His dad is going to be the king. Prince Harry is the second brother, so he really ain't got no chance at all unless William dies.
Right.
So we've always known William as the red-headed playboy who was around the world. He was not irresponsible, but he was like I'm gonna be at the parties. You gonna catch me in New York. You gonna catch me with the hot chicks. All this good stuff.
But that kind of went away when he kind of got like that weird hair going on.
I don't know. I think he was kicking it. I think
he was kicking it.
I think we just didn't see it because you the prince.
Right.
You just knocking people off and throwing them in the shelf. You know, like no, seriously. If you the prince and you one of the girls that's kicking it with the prince, you take your role.
Oh yeah.
You be like, whenever he ring up, I'm ready.
Right.
Because I take Windsor Palace, I take the castle or whatever.
Yeah.
Meghan Markle was when he got serious.
Right.
And
well, this is with Harry.
Yeah.
You said William.
Oh, okay. William is following the family footsteps.
Right.
He has
I was talking about him with
responsibility.
the hair, not Harry.
Oh, okay. Well, and then he married the white girl, like the classic white girl, Kate Middleton, who was like the white girl. Like he did it the way the white supremacy said you're supposed to do it.
Exactly.
Harry, on the other hand, decided that he wanted to. He was a wild card, and I think people accepted him as a wild card. Like, you go out there, you go knock everybody around, you do all that stuff because you get to be the bad boy, redheaded prince.
I honestly, like, since Harry was little, I think if anyone, I think William was more like his dad, and Harry was more like his mom. That's how I.
And I think
it.
that's how they're framing the narrative.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And even as they got unroiled,
right,
they're kind of trying to shape it like the Diana in him is what's giving him freedom and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I watched the interview yesterday, and I'm really talking about this because, I never bought into the Prince and Princess, but I got to tell you, I did watch the wedding because I was up and I flicked the channel and just seeing all of them mad white girls' faces. Like, I literally was taking pictures because I was like, their faces are just showing disgust.
It wasn't even just that either. It was the stuff that I love that Meghan put that was black up in it. But they were like,
the church, the pastor went too far. The mom, like the gospel choir, all the stuff. But the pictures that were really getting me were all the white people in shock. Like, you just brought this. Not only did you bring this mulatto girl up in here, but you done brought the mulatto in here, and now you got them dancing in the choir. This man is hooping and hollering. He was straight, wow! And then
hooping at a wedding. We don't do that.
And then talking about the history of slavery, all type of stuff.
He was doing too much.
Especially in front of all them white folks.
And I wanted them to know that is not a reflection of us.
I felt like it was great. I was loving it because I was loving all the white people who was sitting there with their booty cheeks clenched. Like, I can't believe they have allowed them to denigrate.
I used to clap after the choir. I was ready to clap after the choir.
So now, and as we were watching this, I kept saying, this ain't gonna work. This just is not gonna work. Eventually, we saw that Harry and Meghan were left the castle. And yesterday, I watched the interview. Now, again, I'm not into it, but I do feel like there's this whole, like they say women around the world every little girl wants to be a princess. But I'm going to tell you that every white little girl wants to be a princess. Because every white little girl growing up has seen themselves as a princess, whether it's Snow White, whether it's Cinderella, whether it is. I can't tell you that every little black girl wants to be a princess. I can't, because I can't tell you that they all saw, especially that look like them until Princess Tiana.
Well, I think with me being a little girl, I don't think I looked at the British as being the princess. I always looked at being the princess to my dad. It wasn't the princess that I looked at to the British, but the princess to my dad.
Got you. And I think white people think of the magical Prince Charming coming to save them on a gallant horse, and everybody wants the Grace Kelly story, right? In the white world.
Because with us, we just believed that was a book.
Daddy, right.
Ours wasn't that. Our story wasn't that.
Because you knew damn well wasn't no white prince coming. Meghan Markle, and Meghan Markle got it confused.
Right.
Real talk, she got it confused. Now, here's how I see it went down. I'm going to just break it down for you. Prince Harry out there kicking it, doing his thing. Now, first of all, she said she didn't Google him ever, and she didn't know really, they just couldn't. I was like, if you don't shut your... First of all, shout out to Vernon Spells, who said that Oprah deserved an Oscar for the acting that she was doing yesterday. I think her and Megan need Oscars.
Well, Megan is an actress.
And she was doing it. And so yesterday, Meghan Markle, watching this, it was... So here's how I see it. I see it as Prince Harry... Meghan Markle is attractive. Mm-hmm. And she's the kind of attractive that if you try really hard, you can imagine away her blackness, right? Like you can put her in the exotic category.
You can do that like imitation of life kind of thing.
The Kadada Jones, right? Yeah. Or like how old girl remember how they didn't think she was black in the office? They was like, what are you, Italian? Exotic? You make her some exotic. And so now he done ran up on her. They hit it off. They kick it. She put it on him. And he been running around with all of these English flat booty girls who hump left, hump right, up, down. And Megan put the black girl on.
Right.
He turned out. He's done. He's cooked. Woo, God, Lord have mercy. Now he running around like a little puppy dog. Megan, where you at? Where you at? So now, after she puts it on him and she done locked it in, they decide to get married. Now, I'm going to tell you, I believe she was pregnant when they got married, right? She was pregnant when they got married because she had the whole process down. They recognized it. They had a wedding. She gets married. The white folks are like...
and it was quick.
It was quick, and... She is now in the royal family, and all the white people are like, wait a minute. We've had our flings. We've all done the thing. But you're going to marry her and bring her into the royal family? And it all goes to the left. Mm-hmm. Now, watching that interview yesterday, it got me to thinking about all of the woke... Because I would tell you that not we all, but people used to position Harry as the woke guy. You know, he would be with the one-armed black kid in Africa. He'd be like the World AIDS Day, and they were like, you're like your mother. Oh, you're so compassionate. And they loved him for all of his extra, being friends of the world, but they didn't really, you could be outside with them, but don't bring that mess in the house. Brought the mess in the house, and the family.
What they consume,
the mess.
They look at it as the mess.
Megan has been living in this world where she's passed, right? Where everybody in the white world has accepted her, and she think like, I'm all good, like I'm not like them over there. I'm not, hi, I'm Meghan Markle. Did you not see me on, right?
She now her stardom there. She thought she was a star. Right.
First of all, she was a C star. But anyway.
I did watch the show she was on.
Okay, but she was a C star.
She was C.
C.
Yes.
She was not A. But as she said yesterday, royalty is different than being a celebrity. She was like the institution. She was like, y'all have no idea. The institution. Now, they kept referring to it as the institution. I really wish they would have said the institution of white supremacy, because that's what they were really referring to. They were not going to
say that, though.
But it took them forever to say racism, because, she had a problem even calling it racism because she really didn't want to be categorized as black. Right. They talked about her as the first biracial the whole damn time. They did not care about your white race, woman. They cared about the black in you.
Well, it's like once you got a tad bit of black, you really
can
be black.
But she was trying to walk that Vanessa Williams before they found me in the stripper book line. Hi, I speak the King's English. I'm with, right?
Yeah.
But what struck me about the interview was not so much Megan, because I'm just telling you now, after watching that interview, she's cooked. She's cooked in Britain. She did appear, in my estimation, manipulative. Now, not manipulative, and I don't want to categorize that as black people, but I feel like to pretend like you weren't trying to be a princess, you weren't trying to be accepted in that world, you knew who you was marrying, and don't act like she says.
She didn't know she wasn't going to be accepted.
Because she was used to the white, right. I'm not them.
Right.
So now she gets there and they like, yo, cuz, you remember that one drop rule? Right. We believe in that. We made that up.
Right.
Right? So you got the one drop. Now they say, okay, because what they really wanted to do, she was like, because she didn't like how they were treating her, and they was like, look, Ma, this come with the job. Whether you like it or not, this what it is. And she was like, well, how about we just take a little break? And they was like, no, you don't get to pick. You in or you out.
Right.
You in or you out. And she tried to make it, in my estimation, where it's not fair that my son Archie won't be treated as the rest of the people. And it's like, Ma, going in the door, you should have known that your children were going to be treated differently, that you are not one of them.
Right.
And
no, that's not how that works. I'm not a mother, but mothers defend their children like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You may kick me around, but you're not kicking my son around.
Right.
And I have no debate about that.
Right.
I'm not even debating whether she felt it right or wrong. I'm saying that, Ma, you walked into the bastion of white supremacy thinking that you was going to get, like, no. You and your son are not more important than the maintenance of white supremacy. And what Meghan Markle did was not just steal the dream of white women in England. She stole the dream of white women all around the world.
I saw a guy he's an English guy.
Mm-hmm.
He must be some kind of,
muckety muck.
Well, yeah, in that publicity space. And he was saying, so the tabloids wrote, why are they doing this? And that kind of, just kind of trashy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he said the quality papers wrote, she didn't tell us anything we didn't already know. We already knew that's exactly how the royal family is.
But the royal family has the interesting part was the relationship with the royal family and the tabloids and just how they keep each other going.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing to me with the Meghan Markle component, though, was they made a choice. But when Oprah asked Prince Harry, because they went through this whole thing, he was like, my family's not protected. They was good when he was going to get his security. And when they was like, nah, you want to be with your family. If your family is walking away, y'all walking away from all of it. Mm-hmm. Where's my gong? You done got, your name be stripped, gong, right? Mm-hmm. To me, after everything that his family did to her, his family dismissed him, separated. When Oprah said, if it weren't for Meghan, would you still be with your family? He said yes.
Mm-hmm. That's not unusual.
However, that said to me, do white people really want to give up their white privilege? Hell no.
Well, actually, that's why they were calling it whatever you said. It's not just the royal family. It's actually a corporation. It's a business.
Yeah.
They are working and they get paid for the work that they do.
They were working. They get paid for the work that they do. I'm 100% with that. But there's levels. Right? You could be a hard-working royal. You could be a medium work or like a low-working royal. But all of it gives you an allowance. It gives you security. They took it all from him. Mm-hmm. And for me,
they're not part of the corporation anymore.
However, he didn't realize that the corporation of white power. Mm-hmm. That's essentially what it was. He was like, I was born into this. I
don't think he thought they would strip him that way.
No, they didn't, because he was like, I'm white.
Right.
He's like,
No, that's not what he's saying. He was like, I am part of the what do they call it? Aristocracy?
Afrostocracy.
Yes.
Right. Aristocracy.
Aristocracy, yes.
Afrostocracy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he is now.
Yeah, but he was like, I am the top
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I am the top of the chain of the aristocracy.
He thought too much of himself.
And I thought that my love of a black woman and my status my privilege as a white man would allow me to have this mulatto girl come all up in the bedroom, all up in the house. And I didn't think that it would impact me like they made it impact me.
Well, like I said, it really showed the world. People say we woke. We ain't woke.
It showed white supremacy don't matter about your family.
He didn't read Mandingo.
Right, exactly.
I didn't read Mandingo is a book.
Yeah, you don't want to read.
I saw the movie. That was enough. Jesus. So I'm saying this because Prince Harry is representative of almost every white guy that I grew up with. Growing up in Bolingbrook. And I think this is a cautionary tale of all of us when we hear people talk about the merger of black social justice issues with lefty white politics, we should always remember that their interests and ours are not always aligned.
I don't think they ever will be in alignment.
And they will go back, though, when it's convenient to being white. They will go back to being white. Like, I'm going to tell you, I think to them boys get to be teenagers, then they going back. Now, Archie got to stay because they already like he too dark.
Is Archie dark?
Well, no, he was. They were worried about how dark.
Right. And I think that Megan knew how they were treating her. I think she thought when the baby was born, they probably would look at that would be her ticketing. That's what I think.
She was very calculating, and the calculation didn't work. And she came up in there with that mulatto baby, and they was like, we ain't honoring it.
Right, but do you think that
took them the whole episode to just change it from mixed race to black?
Right, but do you also think that he kept saying he still talks to his grandmother all the time, the queen.
Because he like, grandma, I'm trying to cut her loose.
Right, but I think the person that's having is the brother and the dad, Prince Charles.
I think it's the brother and the sister. I think it's the brother and Kate.
I think it's the brother and the daddy, because he said his dad has not spoken to him.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think
can believe that.
I can believe that, but Kate, in my estimation, is Goose and the brother.
Oh,
she like we can't have this mulattress running around here. We can't be at the same level. Wait a minute, you.
And that's what Megan's doing to Harry. I mean, we all know the power of women.
And did y'all see? And Meg, okay.
Well,
and let me just say this.
Charles is actually the heir apparent.
Yeah.
It's him next, so he's probably calling the shots.
No, Charles, that's what I'm saying. The dad is calling the shots. That's why he's saying he's talking to his grandmother. And the grandmother is more worried about her husband who's been sick. So basically, it's the father, it's Prince Charles that is having that basically.
I think
Americans don't trust Prince Charles.
Never. I still don't. I don't like him.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Look at his face.
It's the whole. I think that when you all when they referred to the institution, I think we keep it.
That's the corporation.
It ain't Charles. It is the white power structure. Now, Charles is the figurehead of that, right, or the demi-figurehead, because right now the figurehead of the white power structure remains the queen, right? And she always keeps the nice face and smiles, but lets Michael do the dirty work in the place.
But I think also, to me, I just look at it like even when the stuff happened to Diana, to me, when you saw Prince Charles, like just his demeanor, and to know that he can cut. At the end of the day, you can say white supremacy or anything, but you can. To me, I just think he has a cold heart when you won't even talk to your son, like don't even talk to him, like he won't even pick up his calls.
White power.
I get that, but I'm saying I think a lot of it. I think with me, I can give up a lot of stuff, but to not talk to my mother and my father, that's to me the ultimate hurt.
I think it depends on where you at though, and it depends on how you were raised, and it depends on where they sit in your life. Yeah. Right. So I'm gonna say that in the space of royalty, remember them kids was probably handed off, right?
Yeah, but I think at the same time, even if you've never met your father, if you've never met your mother, it's like sometimes you have that connection. Like I've met people that hadn't seen their father in years, and even though you can hate them, it's still some type of connect. And regardless of what we think, they still knew their father, and I just think for a father, knowing that the mother died tragically, to like just
killed
cut
the
your
mother.
son.
She didn't die tragically. She got out of line, and she knew she was. Let me tell you something.
She was wild. She was basically seeing other people.
But then
he got stuck with Camilla.
Okay,
whatever her
to be
name
passing
is.
gas. But anyway, that's one of the things that the tabloids talks about. She has the worst gas ever.
Are you serious?
But yes, they talk about it all the time.
Looks
However, you saying it like I feel like they whacked old girl, and I feel like if you could, I don't feel like there's any. Let me back up. Harry wants to talk to his dad. His dad ain't talking to him.
That's what I'm saying.
That's therein is the point. That is not what Harry is like. I'm outside, Daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy, you leaving me out here?
Right.
I didn't know that the black girl was gonna get me kicked out the house. I got these kids. What I'm supposed to do?
Right.
Because again, he said yesterday he hopes to reconcile with his family. Now, I'm not bugging out, and I think you should, but reconcile on what terms? Like you got to just like if you watched The Crown, you saw the king was in love with old girl, and he had to step down, and they never talked to him again and let him die in Paris.
I mean, but like
and that was a white woman.
Yeah. And like I said, Todd, I don't know if you saw this, but it was just crazy to see. Like, I love London. I've been to London a couple times, but I love London. I love the
fogginess.
I just love London.
The wet, moisture.
The nasty food,
the
blood pie,
I'm not even into
kidney
a museum.
pie.
I'm not even into a museum or anything, but like where Diana and Prince Charles got married at the church and how they have all the kings and everybody bodies in the church, like behind her. I just think that's the most amazing stuff.
But you can see their body alive?
No.
I mean,
they're
mummified?
They're not mummy. They're just, that's why they're buried.
They're buried in the church?
Yeah.
Oh, the crypts in church. So here's what I care. Like, let me say this. I don't
think Cousin Juan actually finished her.
Oh, did you see?
Oh, I thought you was
This
finished.
is the Maze, Juan, and Todd show this week.
No,
yeah,
Todd ain't gonna talk. Go ahead,
here
finish.
to protect you.
Finish.
Thank you.
Because he won't let me talk. I gotta help you.
Look, he waiting on Ruthie to come. I'm gonna just be quiet because Ruthie gonna come back and check him. Go ahead, finish one.
So no, but what I was saying is that I love them, but real talk, even though I saw the interview, I think the most profound thing that I saw was to see that those two white boys tricked all of these CNN, tricked all of these media people to actually do an interview about the interview with Oprah before it even came out.
What do you mean?
Exactly.
Okay,
So-
tell us about that when you come back because
Okay.
I'm a little lost on it.
Oh, I'm gonna send y'all the link so then y'all know what I'm talking about. But literally, seeing they had 5 like prominent media people to actually do interviews, and they recorded it, and they say, "Oh, we need to do this now because we want to be able to show it right after the interviews." So they literally did the interviews before even seeing it.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tell you, it was a lot of.
It
good
was
stuff in
crazy.
there. It
I
was
was
crazy
like,
watching
what?
that interview and just watching them, the exact same pictures, like Megan and Kate doing the exact same thing, whether it was holding their baby bump or eating avocados, and just the difference in it. And it was hilarious to me because it was clearly the white power structure in full bloom and looking at it, and it was just crazy to watch. Like,
You know what that is? It's disco demolition, where we thought it was about disco, but then we heard your friend interview, we found out it's really just about black people.
Right. Hey, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Mace Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Tune into Parenting in a Pandemic, powered by the Chicagoland Mom Squad, every Thursday at noon, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop
to jail. Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And while you're shopping anywhere, change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess. And I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there? Why don't you come on over?
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger. Cousin Juan looked like she almost made it.
Man.
She almost made it.
Well, that 6 a.m. was rough.
Hey, man, you saw good, though. You did a good job, cousin. You always do a good job when you in.
Thank you.
It is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, Todd Stroger, Sonia Escobar, Cousin Juan. That was Sam Trump.
I love Sam Trump.
Valerie. One day. Y'all check this out. We're gonna y'all know soon my man Big Swill just got a spot.
Who is Big Swill?
Big Swill's like one of my best friends. Helped me start Universal Mayor's Jack Enterprises. But got a spot. We're gonna be doing some
When you say got a spot, what does that mean?
He has a place where people can gather.
Oh,
right?
An event space.
Yes.
Oh.
And so he's going to we're gonna have a What's in It for the Black People morning show concert.
Where is it at?
We'll talk about it.
Okay. I want to see. I be wanting to know.
Yeah, you were supposed to come on Friday, but you didn't. So, right.
I think I had a date.
You had a date.
Yes.
With who?
Don't worry about that. You told me you want to tell me about the event space. I ain't gonna tell you where I want to
Who you had a date with? Let me see the picture.
Nope.
I'm gonna tell you.
Nope.
He ain't one of them skinny jean wearing.
I can't do that.
Like
they just got how they put them on. I don't know.
I'm just okay. I gotta see this date. I gotta see what he look like. We gotta pass. Let me see the picture.
No.
Let us see the picture. Did you give him a kiss? You kissed on the first date?
Who said it was a first?
Oh, so wait. Okay. So was it the second date?
Next, what's on the calendar?
Was he dark or light?
Is
like he big or
Is he a
short?
prince?
Is he like I'm saying? Was he tall? Was he short?
What is tall to you? I'm 5'9".
I'm 5'9" too.
Right. So
that's tall.
That's tall to you?
I'm tall, damn it.
Oh, okay. I said that's tall to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Dang it.
Tall to me is like 6'3", because I'm 5'9".
Okay.
Because in heels, I'll be taller than you.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would. I would be like, if I got 4-inch heels
you
or
know
3-inch heels.
Oh, okay. You know what? You know what the worst thing in the world a woman could do, though? You know what I hate the most out of women's fashion?
What?
Them stubby heels.
I love gym shoes.
We see.
Which one
we
is
see.
about, stubby
But
heels?
you know the stubby heels. The heels that they like cut, they like a a block instead of like a heel.
But that's like a platform, kind of like a platform.
No, not like the
Like a kitten heel?
No, I'm like, you know, like where they got
like
you know, like the grandma heel, or like that, right? Like
kitten heel,
or like that heel where it's like it's
function.
got a heel and it's like you balancing.
Some of us have to walk
You
for all
balancing your.
You
your.
are balancing.
You, but I'm saying you balancing on the short one, not the tall.
You talking about the little kitty heel? That's what
Right?
you're talking about.
I be like, what, that should be like. I want the.
To me, that's like a borderline Easter shoe.
It ain't no. It's an Easter shoe for old lady.
Exactly. They so comfortable though.
They show off.
I got you, but they show. Okay.
That's why I wear gym shoes.
Gym shoes.
Yes.
All right. Oh,
Sneakers.
Love what?
where you from?
Bolingbrook.
Then you'll say gym shoes. So you'll say we don't say sneakers.
Yeah, you do.
Sneakers, no.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
don't.
yeah, yeah.
No, we don't. And y'all crack me up trying to be from New York. Talk about sneakers. Ain't nobody in Chicago never damn. Ain't nobody from Chicago been saying no damn sneakers until you said sneakers in Chicago in the '90s. Somebody beat punched you. Stop it.
No, you say gym shoes.
We said gym shoes. Now y'all talking about cause y'all been reading the Source magazine and people telling you a sneakerhead. So now you want to be
Source
sneakers.
magazine still out?
Yeah, the digital online version.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's sort of like the Defender.
That's still out?
See, online.
No, not the vendor.
Mm-hmm.
For real?
Yeah, it's a newsletter. Comes out like
Huh.
every. I'm serious.
Oh.
It's a weekly.
I don't know. You gotta ask my spam filter.
You're so
Sign up for the Wiftaba newsletter though.
Oh yeah, definitely sign up for the for the Wiftaba Media newsletter and the What's in It for the Black People newsletter. Sign up for the Maze Jackson newsletter.
What's the Wiftaba?
Wiftaba.
Wiftaba.
What's in it for the black people?
Oh, y'all made it a word.
Wiftaba.
Okay.
Yes. You know it. Okay. Don't be over there. Don't make me start
I would
up.
have said WIFFTBP. That's what I would have said.
Wiftaba.
You know what? You and these Bolden.
I know we have
Who
phonics.
said who? You gonna
Phonics.
add that to the you gonna add that to the dictionary?
Yep.
Okay.
Phonics. Wiftaba.
Wiftaba.
See, look at you. Phonics.
It's like speaking in tongue at church. Wiftaba. What the fuck?
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Right.
It's like, how you got a what the fuck? All right, y'all. This story jumped out to me. First of all, when I'm driving downtown, I see billboards for Verano all over now, telling people to buy weed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I also want to be 100% clear that there was a time when I was trying to do a cannabis deal with Verano. And then there was a time when the Verano people was kind of like, yeah, I think that the moment that I knew that the fix was in on the cannabis licenses was the day that we had all of our money together and we're ready to go to the table with a deal. And they was like, nah, how about y'all don't just give us no money? We just need y'all name. And it was like, nah, and all the people I was with was like, yo, these was some of the biggest money black people in the country. And they was ready to go. And we had our money and was like, we don't want to be we want to put our money up and get our fair share and let's team up. And then I just remember the day when my heart sunk when they came and they was kind of like, nah, we could throw you on, but we don't really want to partner anymore. I was like, but I got money.
So how would they want to throw you on if they didn't want your money?
Be the social equity. You could be
to be the black people on
right.
the
But I was trying to get 51%.
You wanted some, right.
And like I had the money to get it, but it didn't happen. So I'm going to let that be. I just wanted to be clear because I don't want you to wake up one day and be like, oh, somebody said, I had a relationship with them, right?
Right. Do you have one with them now?
No.
Oh.
But I saw this story about them attempting to smuggle cannabis from Illinois to Arkansas, which is a growing, a new cannabis market.
So Arkansas is now legal?
I think they are now in the process of becoming legal, and it may be medical. There's 36 states in the country now that have legal. I think 12 recreational.
Side note, with that, can you legally, like if I buy some edibles in California, can I bring them on a plane with me to Chicago? Because both of them are
Somebody
legal?
got to taste it. I mean, like you take a risk, but yeah. Like nobody in the San Francisco airport. I mean, in the LA airport, they're not going to stop you.
Okay.
And then in the Chicago airport, they're not going to stop you.
I was just wondering, going from one state that has it to another where it's legal, was it illegal?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure it is illegal, but I'm saying somebody got to prove it.
Okay, gotcha.
And if in both of the states you take off and land, ain't nobody checking. If they not checking your bag for it to leave, and then when you get off the plane, they don't check your bag no kind of way.
Right.
So you're good.
Okay. I just wondered.
But it was crazy to me when I read the headline that they were under federal investigation for, and the headline was they were under federal investigation for smuggling weed from Illinois to Arkansas. And just the concept that cannabis companies could even be involved in smuggling this early just says to me, it speaks volumes to me.
Well, don't you think they were doing it before Arkansas?
Well, yes, but this goes to the whole thing. Like, we're locked out of the market, right? We're locked out of the market for the same things that they are now participating in. So essentially what they did was, for those of you that know, and I don't know too much about it, but apparently they took clippings, which are what you use to clone cannabis plants. And they put it in Whole Foods salad containers.
Crazy. So it looked like sunflower seeds on a salad?
Well, no, I think it was more like they laid it in the thing like it was like it looked like salad, but they're the actual clones.
The clones of the
Then you get to the place, you take them out, you put them in water, and you put them in the little foam things, and then they blow up and they turn into plants. And in Arkansas, this gentleman, Mike Frontier, who's being investigated, who's with Verano, is being investigated for some gaming operations separately. Seems to me like he got caught up and they was like, look, I'll tell you everything. Just let me be free.
So because he's a crook.
So now, but here's the thing that's crazy to me is that the laws were written to protect us from the criminal element participating in the industry that was supposed to be us.
Wait, the laws protecting who?
The laws protecting the cannabis industry
Okay.
were drafted with the thought of preventing criminal drug smugglers from getting involved in the business.
Gotcha.
Right? And then we find out that the corporations that are doing it legally are alleged to be participating in drug smuggling.
Wow.
All while we still have black people locked up and we have zero, and the unions are saying, forget their drug smuggling, just give us a cut of all of those bodies because we want to get paid. We are the only people in the world that have not been allowed to transfer our illicit, ill-gotten gains and wealth. The areas where we created expertise and the ability to prosper into financial well-being for our future generations. And these white boys are smuggling weed in interstate smuggling.
That's crazy.
Now, my question is, do they get to keep their license? Like,
it should be revoked.
Well, here's the thing.
I think their license should be revoked.
But here's the thing. $3 billion industry, they're making multiple millions of dollars. Are we going to hear any outrage? Is anybody going to ask J.B. Pritzker? This is one of the reasons why the black cannabis groups have to get together. Because right now, there should be outrage. Right? Like, selling cannabis is not a right. Clearly, because we don't get it.
That's right.
Right.
It's a privilege. And so it's not even whether you did it or not, it's the inkling, it's the suspicion, right? Like the premise that you could possibly compromise the whole entire industry by smuggling says to me that you should be under full review.
Yeah.
Right. So is there something in the bill that says that?
No, because nobody wrote the plan for bootlegging and smuggling. Now check this out. Here's the other secret that this is
something though, huh?
Well, we'll have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to call. I'm at Johnny Gill Bobby.
That's a name.
Johnny Gill Bobby. We need to know how we gonna deal with these. What?
Yeah.
JGB.
That's new edition.
That's new edition. We got that's code word for Johnny Gill Bobby. Johnny Gill Bobby know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Johnny Gill Bobby. What we gonna do about this? And to all of the Black Cannabis Act, to all of the Black Cannabis advocates and potential licensees, here is another point. Now, what we're going to see is that we're going to hear J.B. Pritzker say, oh, that's in the courts. We can't deal with that. That selling cannabis in Illinois is a privilege, of which no black people have, and they are now being accused of smuggling. Now, here's the other part that nobody wants to talk about with all of these cannabis companies. They growing so much cannabis that they selling it out the back door. So used to be a time.
That should get you kicked out.
Yeah, but somebody got to prove it. Right? And so what you're seeing now is
state police?
The market leveling up. They not going to investigate it because they taking. Are you going right now? You in a budget crisis. Are you going to give up 1/3 of your $1 billion? No. You're going to say, look the other way. And then when it's time to arrest somebody, don't arrest the corporation that's selling the cannabis out the back door or smuggling.
So you just get a fall guy, but keep your business.
Think about the gravity of this, though. The gravity of legal, you are making $1 billion, $3 million a day, and you still have to smuggle drugs. You're still smuggling. Look at that. See, Johnny Gill Bobby, I appreciate you. Look at Johnny Gill Bobby.
So I guess my question is, how do you make noise about that? Because, like, you know, was that it, like, in the paper? Like, how do you make noise as black, like this black group that you're saying are all coming together? How do you actually make noise to put that out there? Because those narratives are like that, to me, are being lost in the small stories, and people aren't seeing that.
So I think that.
Well, you know, like in Vegas or Nevada, they got a gaming board that will kick you out if you are
even have suspicion.
Right.
Suspicion.
Right.
You ain't even got to be caught. They could be like, you are bringing reproach upon it. See, here's what Johnny Gill Bobby. This is what we need. I need Johnny Gill Bobby. It worked though, because Johnny Gill Bobby hit me. Yeah. I need to be on the vote committee, right? I could be the jerk. They don't like me no way. But my point is, like, realistically, somebody has to say this. And it's probably a jam for the elected officials.
Right.
Because now you created a $1 billion behemoth that if you go too hard, they're going to come after you.
Right.
Right?
So I think
check this out. Let me double you down.
Yeah.
Imagine if the unions then get those are their laborers. They're not going to shut down that industry.
Right.
They're going to be fighting to protect the white boys who are smuggling.
Yeah.
See, I'm just going to tell y'all.
So do you think a lot of it is that people just are afraid to losing what they have if they speak out?
That, and I'm just saying that we really need to, okay, I'm not going to say it, but I do think that there are people in our community that know how, like, the white boys have no fear.
Right.
And that, to me, in a space where they are now this wasn't them driving a legal truck they are now participating in interstate drug smuggling.
But do you think a lot of blacks are not speaking up because they don't want to lose?
No, this story just came up. This story just came out.
Gotcha.
And then I think that there are black people that are speaking up. Even they're working in conjunction with the legislators, but they've got to get it all together and quickly to get it over the hump. So then we deal with this. Because if you let the unions get a hold and you let these white boys get too far out the gate, they'll be more powerful than anybody we got. Look, y'all.
So what you gonna do?
I'm gonna call Juan. We gon'
like, for real, that's serious.
I think that they should, right now, there should be calls from advocates all over to have their license pulled.
Right.
Right? Advocates should be asking for their license to be pulled, and when that starts to happen, then they're going to come to the table and say, no, it's not me. And then we can ask, how many black partners you got? Who's your marketing? Right? Like, and then you start to take their privilege away. See, none of the white boys want to give away their privilege. And the fact that they smuggled it on a plane in a Whole Foods salad container is the ultimate demonstration of white privilege.
Yeah.
They smuggling cannabis flying cannabis across the country that we can't even get Do y'all understand if y'all would have had a dime bag in your pocket? These dudes was starting a whole industry on a plane for a whole state, growing the basis plants for the whole thing. If I got caught with a dime bag, I would have went and got put in jail. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Look, y'all. Where is Dawn? I think, is Dawn Millhouse coming today? Somebody told me she around here making playlists and stuff, trying to get her weight up, trying to run around here and be the biggest show on the network. I'm still the king around here.
That's my sister. Hey, Dawn.
We like Dawn. Did y'all see Dawn in the swimsuit, y'all? Y'all go to Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
Dawn had that thigh popping yesterday. Wet hair coming, trying to do the bow dare coming out the swimming pool. Y'all check out her playlist. Check out her playlist. Check out her Instagram. But also, most importantly, check her out up next on the What's in It for the Black People Media Network. So for Maze and Sonia and Juan and Todd, Ruthie, we still miss you. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black